Is this thing on? Okay, it says live 0.5. I hope this is on. Y'all see me? Y'all see me? Okay, it say 89 people. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God, y'all. Welcome to the first of Black People Love is Blind reunion. I am so happy that you have chosen to join me, your sister. Thank you so much. You know what? I'm still trying to figure out how to do this live thing. I should have had waterfalls playing. Let me see if I can have damn, I should have had waterfalls playing. Hold on. Let me see if I can still just play a little snippet of waterfalls for y'all, because I feel like that's become our thing, and for me not to have it playing is so stupid. So hold up, let me see. Hold up. Okay. Please be here. Please be here. Lord, is it here, Lord? Child, not me not having waterfalls. This is a fail. Okay, hold on. All right, there it is. Can y'all hear that? Jessie. Shining like some shit you never saw before. See, they chasing me like water. Got them Cubans on my lip. Truck look like bricks. Got them Cubans on my lip. Truck look like bricks. Yeah. Shining like some shit you never saw before. See, they chasing me like water. That ain't solid gold, that's a no-no. I'm stepping on these hoes when I wanna. You like me? Hey! That's what we all gon' eat. M.O.E. I got it all on me. VVS, I just turned the water on. Big old flex, shit you never saw before. These niggas chasing me like waterfalls. Been on my truck, look like bricks. Diamonds in my trunk, niggas dancing with. Shining like some shit you never saw before. Hey! TLC, they chasing me like waterfalls. Got them Cubans on my lip. Truck look like bricks. Got them Cubans. Not y'all know the lyrics. Truck look like bricks. Yeah. Shining like some shit you never saw before. TLC, they chasing me like waterfalls. Just a red light special on the bottom of my shoe. Stay with different flavors. Crazy, sexy, cool. Oh my God. You know what's so funny? I was telling my friend Justin the other day, I was like, I always thought waterfalls was corny when I recorded it. So when I was starting just a couple things, I was like, okay, everybody has a theme song on there. All the girlies have a theme song on their YouTube. I was like, okay, let me just do waterfalls. And to see y'all like it, that's crazy to me. So thank you so much for showing all the love that you guys have shown for it. It's coming. Just give me a moment. Just being transparent with y'all. I am in the middle of signing a lot of paperwork and with management, and I have a deal that I'm working on. So it's like I'm trying to get all that together so that I can release that song and other songs that I have. So be patient with me, but thank you so much for loving it. I love y'all. All right, y'all. We have a special episode of Just a Couple Things today. We're going to have a Black People's Love is Blind reunion. I have some people that I really, really love. I love their content. I've been a fan of theirs. I love their coverage on Love is Blind as well as other shows. And I do want to just have a space where we talk about the show from a Black people's perspective. And we have a good time, and we just address things from our perspective as Black people who are dating, as Black people who are still young and are still experiencing a lot of the things that we see portrayed on the show. So without further ado, hopefully I do this right. Let me see which button would I press for everybody to come in. Hold on, let me see. No. Yes. Okay, period. Okay. Without further ado, I want to invite everybody on here. First of all, we have Queen E. Thank you so much. We have King of Reeds. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, we have Kojo from Little Black Book 91. Thank you so much for all of y'all being here. Are y'all on mute? We doing a mute challenge? Can we unmute ourselves?
Hey girl.
We was giving you your space.
Hey girl. No, we were trying to let you have a moment.
Come on in, not out.
We know how each content creator. We know we can talk over each other. So we wasn't trying to do that.
Okay, that's so true. So first of all, I mean, I guess I feel like everybody in the chat, they're all excited to see y'all. From what I'm seeing, everybody knows who you guys are. But if you guys just want to just briefly tell everybody who you are, just in case there's somebody who doesn't know, and how they can follow you and how they can keep up with your channel.
Who are we starting with?
Let's start with you.
Okay. My name is Queenie. I am from Canada. A lot of people don't know that, but yeah, that's where I am. You can find me on YouTube at The Queen E. Is my Instagram the same? I don't know. My Instagram is something, but if you peruse on my YouTube, you'll find me somewhere there. We just hit 50K this month, thanks to Love is Blind. Thank you. We shooting for the 100K crew. You know, the 100K crew, I see them on the side over there. I'm going to join y'all.
Yes, and you will get it. You will get it. Yeah. Oh, hold on. I saw somebody say, where's Roxy? I left Roxy a couple comments. I looked for her on IG. I should have asked E for Roxy because E was saying, oh my God, I have all her information. So I didn't know. So Roxy says, please know I love you. We all love you. And next time we definitely going to need you at the Black People Love is Blind reunion and other things too. I really want to do more stuff like this. But yeah, go ahead, Justin. King of Reeds.
Hello, period. King of Reeds, Justin, whatever you want to call me. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you, Jessie. I am a part of the Love is Blind tribe and the Black women's tribe as well, period. I have never watched Love is Blind. I'm excited about this reunion review, all of that. You can find me on YouTube, King of Reeds. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, The King of Reeds. You type in King of Reeds, you're going to find me, point blank, period. So passing it on to Little Black Boy Book. What is it? Little Black Book 91, period.
Mm-hmm. Yo, thank you for that, man.
Boy.
King of Reeds gonna get me in trouble today. My name is Little Blackbird 91. I'm from the UK, as you probably can tell. I also go by the name of Kojo, if you know. But listen, my content on, I like to talk about relationships all the way through, and we use reality TV to kind of showcase how healthy relationships should be. So listen, if you love reality TV, you love relationships, then find yourself at Little Blackbird 91. Shout out to Jessie as well for this, man. I appreciate it. I was going to sing, but, my chord's a little bit.
Oh, listen, we're gonna sing. We're gonna carry on. Listen, we're gonna have a good black ass time during Black Women's History Month. Okay, this is what we do on this channel. We're gonna have a good motherfucking time. Let's just go ahead and just get started. I wanted to start not just talking about the reunion itself, but let's just talk about season 6. Period. I think I've been one of those people who've covered Love is Blind from the beginning. And I was always fascinated by the show. I think when Love is Blind dropped 2020, we was all in the house. And I think Love is Blind, when it dropped, it just dropped at the perfect time because it brought the world together. Like, it really just did. Like, it brought the world together. We were all at home watching this one show. And then, God gifted us with Cameron and Lauren. Like, I really feel like this show was created for Cameron and Lauren because other than Cameron and Lauren, Brett and Tiffany, Zach and Bliss, I just feel like the couples ain't really coupling, and the show has changed so much from season 1 to season 6. What direction do you guys feel the show is going into, and do you like it?
I mean, me personally, I love a delusional dating show. So I'm okay with the whole this show ends in marriage thing. When they did the stat of 11 marriages, but 9 couples are still together, I was like, well, wait, now that's not too bad.
No,
that's really good. That's really good. So where would I like to see it go? I say this all the time on my channel when people think like, girl, I don't know. Regular ass people, regular. And why I say that is because when you know on the other side you're likely to be with somebody who's relatively seen as attractive and stuff like that, there's no stakes for real. But when you know I genuinely could be with a man who is 5'2" and has a cul-de-sac, I really gotta say, am I gonna put my whole heart into this thing? So I would like more regular people. Stop recruiting the people on Instagram. We can start there. I know how you feel about that, but I'm just gonna let that rock.
Shout out to Chelsea who thought she was gonna eat me up, but she ain't know I'm a whole piranha. I'm a whole Haitian piranha, girl. But yeah, no, I feel you on that. What about you guys? The men's.
This is my first season ever watching. I was introduced during the pandemic, but I was only introduced because of the drama, because I knew the person who was on the show.
Oh,
yes, yes. And
who
they reached
bro?
out to me. What is his name? He was on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Carlton. So he reached out to me. He was like, "Girl, like, what do I need to do? Because this is a disaster." Mm-hmm. And I watched it, just a little bit of it. And I was like, "Oh, girl, my sister done burnt too many bridges. There's nothing I can do for her now." Like the way that Carlton talked about that black woman and that whole situation, I was like, "Oh, sister, you just need to shut up. You just need to shut up. Like, you just need to shut up." So that's how I was introduced. I never watched it, but people told me about what was going on with Clay and AD, and they said, "Justin, we really want you to talk about the colorism aspect and all the things. We really want your thoughts." So shout out to my patrons. They wanted me to talk about it. So I started paying attention. Then I started watching Jessie reviews, then Queen E reviews, and then everybody else's. And I started getting into the TikTok mess. I was like, oh, I can get with this, because you started doing reality show reviews. That's what started my channel. But I don't do it because all the reality shows are trash. It's the same format. Yeah. So this was some new mess. And like Little Black Book said, it's like I like talking about relationships. So you can use this reality show to talk about like some of the things, even things I've learned in my past relationship and things that I want to fix before I get into a new relationship. So seeing all this mess, like recognizing red flags, so we won't be like Risa Tisa, I'm down for it. So this season is messy. I can't say if I'm gonna watch another one. It just depends. I don't know if I want to reward Netflix for giving me this. I don't know if I want to reward them like that. And I feel like that's some other stuff we can get into later. But yeah, that's my point.
Yeah. Good points.
I think you should reward them, King of Reads, to be honest. Because clearly your content's working. But listen, for me personally, I love Love is Blind. Like yourself, Jess, watched it from the very season one, seen the kind of growth of people coming onto the show. I think this has probably been one of the best seasons, bar season one. Because I felt like I did feel like they actually did a good storyline. We actually got deep into a lot of the couples, and we saw different various sides of them. I think for me personally, the next step, I said this on my live the other day, I want to see them do debriefs and deliberations and conversations after our honeymoon phase. Because if you've got two people having a connection and they have multiple connections with other people, to throw them instantly into a honeymoon and then that person comes back and they're not having a conversation, and I mean a real conversation, because yesterday, I don't go too deep, we saw how Jessica and Jimmy were talking. They were practically telling each other, we love each other, but we couldn't talk about it because Chelsea's here. So we need real debriefs and real conversations.
She's Chelsea's daughter's auntie, though.
Madness.
But you know how I feel about those spicy things. Yeah. Yeah. So that's how I feel. But good season so far. Can't lie to you.
Good season. I think it was an entertaining season. I think out of all the seasons, it was the most entertaining. But I think for a lot of the wrong reasons. And then I think this cast too, out of all the cast, really didn't give a fuck about sharing stuff on socials. But they're not the first cast to do that. Season 5 really changed that mode. Season 5 is where we have 2 lawsuits that are active right now, and where we had a lot of people. I had the Black Women's Reunion for season 5, where the girls came on and they shared so many things from behind the scenes. And I think that now more than ever, people who are going on the show are either really not looking for love, but most importantly, don't care about talking. Like, they don't care about talking and they don't care about coming forward. I do know that the show puts these cast members on a very, very crazy NDAs. So the people who have been brave enough to file lawsuits, I give them so much kudos. The people who have stepped forward to share, behind the scenes stuff, I give them so much kudos for that. Let's talk about this season. I want to go back to something Justin said where he talked about Carlton.
Oh no.
Don't you do it, baby.
No, listen, if you watched my reviews, I really thought Clay was going to be Carlton. I really did. I thought that was the pipeline. Whole time, it was Kenneth. Sort of, kind of.
Well,
Lord,
sort of, kind of. Can we talk about how this is something that the Black women said at the Black Women's Reunion last season, that they feel that the Black men who go on this show don't necessarily go looking for Black women.
Oh.
Can we kind of talk about that? Do you guys, as viewers, do y'all agree with that?
Yeah, I feel like it's a mirror of real life. Because we don't see real life Black men, showing love to dark skinned Black women. So it's just like, girl, yeah, it comes out. So even when they're trying to pretend and portray themselves as this, they can't do it. You saw Clay struggle with that. He had the persona. Even Ken, they had the persona of everything that, oh, Clay, look at this Black man. Like even Ken, how would you be my wife? Like he said all the things, and then when it got time to make the connection, there was nothing there.
Yeah.
So I feel like it is a mirror. And I think the conversations around AD and how Clay described AD, he never really just called her beautiful. It was always on her body. And we see that, like, Black women, specifically dark-skinned Black women, it has to be that. Like, AD is beautiful, period.
Yeah.
But her being dark-skinned takes away a little of that. Because if it was like a thin, just light-skinned, biracial, light-skinned woman, beautiful. Like, just, oh my gosh, she's so fascinating, she's so beautiful. But AD has to be more than that. And her more than that is her ass. And that's how Black men are. Like, we see it all the time on Instagram, social media, all the time, TikTok, period.
Oh, there's a Black man who wants to speak up.
Well, ain't they always speaking and not saying nothing?
You gonna have me in trouble.
What say you as a Black man and Black woman?
Can I be honest? I want to be very frank and honest here. First and foremost, shows like this do Black men a disservice. Because if you chose someone like Kwame with the hairline that he has, God bless the hairline, and the kind of look that he has and how he behaves, the brother was denying his Ghanaian heritage. Of course he's going to choose a white woman. If you chose that kind of man to put on a show, you've already put somebody who doesn't even want Black women. Now, Clay saying that he doesn't like dark-skinned women, I can't say that personally. And we're going to have a little bit of I can see we have a little bit of a pushback here. This situation with AD, I put it on my channel, I said this. And I made it biblical. I said Rachel and Leah in the Bible. Someone looks good, but someone else has the physique and the looks. Which one would you choose? And I said, we've overinflated the fact that because she's dark-skinned, that's the reason why he rejected her. I don't think it's because she's dark-skinned. I said this that throughout the whole season. I said some points in time, I don't like too much women and I don't like physical appearances. I don't like going down that road because who am I? You know what I mean? But the reality of the situation is, I said that at points in time, she wasn't keeping up. I said this. And I said, at points now, some people don't like that kind of aspect because it feels like you're putting a lot of effort into your body, not necessarily your facial features, your hair, everything like that. And I said, whatever's your money maker is what you spend time putting your attention to. And until the reunion, the reunion, she was looking beautiful, don't get to it. And she's a beautiful woman. I'm just saying, though, I think it's a bit hard pressed to put that on Clay and talk about whether she's dark skinned or whether Black men are not looking for Black women, because if you choose people to come on the show, you're intentionally choosing men who have a preference against Black women. That's not the fault of those Black men. That's the fault of the show intentionally choosing people who are going to promote that particular aspect. Please, let's give some grace to these Black men because not all of us want to choose white women. You know what I'm saying to you?
Listen,
that's my defense counsel.
So I a little bit side with you, Kojo. I do think that, like Justin said, I think that what we see on these shows is indicative of what we see in real life. Like, as a Black woman, as a plus size Black woman, it's ghetto out here for me. Okay. However, what I see on TV is often what I see in real life. However, if I'm looking for more Black centric stories, I feel like there are channels for that. Unfortunately, Ready to Love ain't doing a great job right now.
I stopped watching this current season.
Yeah, I stopped watching this season too. I was reviewing and I dropped it. But like, I'm not going to Netflix. And it's so funny that Clay said this, because I think it's rich for him to say it, but it's partly true. How are you going to look at this network and expect them to adequately portray Black storylines? His specifically, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm not going over to Netflix looking for, wow, they're really shedding light on our experience and they're really giving the Black women and the Black men. I'm not looking to Netflix for that. So I feel like if we really want more of those stories, when the ADs come out, we flock to them, we show them love. The Tiffany's, the Bretts, the Kwame's, if you want to, because representation matters. The Laurens, you know what I'm saying? Or you head over to Ready to Love, or that's the only Black centric dating show that I know. All I'm saying is people go where the money resides. You know what I'm saying? So let's go over there, or let's rally around the people who we want to see more of. And they're going to put, how many more Black people were on this season? Casted. We didn't get to see all of them, but casted. They're like, okay, so these people's stories are worth telling. And the more we, the more we support that, I feel like the more representation we'll see. But on the show itself, do they cast men who are not into Black women? I think they cast men who we see every day.
I will say, I think that, Kojo said he couldn't say matter of fact that Clay wasn't into AD's dark skin. But I think when women are telling you something, especially when Black women say something, please listen to them. And here's why: because we know what we've experienced. Like, we know what we've experienced. And when we're watching these shows, we are seeing what we have experienced. Now, again, just like you, I do not know Clay's psyche. I do not know what's inside Clay's mind. I actually would love to interview Clay about that. However, watching it and seeing how he was more fixated on her body. Yes, from time to time, we would see him throw in a little, "You're beautiful," right? But it was never said like in the same tone as when he would admire her body. It was, every time he talked about her, it was, "I love our sexual chemistry." Like, he said that a lot, and unfortunately, as a dark-skinned woman who has dated, I have very much felt that my body has been more of the thing than my actual looks, what I look like. I have been in relationships with dark-skinned men like Clay, who will talk in circles and circles and circles to the point where you think you're crazy. But then the minute they get the opportunity to go date the girl who's not looking like me, you see them giving them a whole other type of attention. The way they speak about them is so much more protective. It's so much more soft. And the only conclusion I can come with is she's not dark-skinned.
Can I push back on that just a little bit? With AD specifically, I don't know if you guys saw the interview with Nick Vale. I didn't watch the whole thing, but she did say right now they're flirty friends or whatever. So they cuddle and they do whatever. On the show, she made it seem as if they're not getting married, it's a hard line, never going there again, whatever. But now you've gone from being a fiance to a situationship. So in as much as we look at Clay saying, would he have treated another woman better? AD has to set the precedent to say, I'm not going to allow you to treat me as anything less than what I feel I need to be treated. So yeah, is it frustrating for us out here? Absolutely. But there are some of us who allow these things to happen because we feel like, well, maybe our time is never going to come. Like Risa Tisa, she was desperate. That provision that she saw, that yearning for a relationship really drove her to accept BS behavior. So I'm here just like, I do appreciate when we want to call people out, when we want to say, listen, Black women deserve better. But as the Black women experiencing these men, we have to put our foot down and say, you know what? No, if you're not going to treat me like you would treat your preference, and go over there, don't come over here. And don't be like, oh, I'm just going to accept a little cuddly friendship. Girl, from a fiance to a situationship, sister, please.
No.
I think that is by root the problem, like with patriarchy. Like women are like relationship. Like even this show watching, the men are in control, point blank, period. They have to make the decision. Oh, I'm ready. It's not if a woman, I don't know if we ever seen a woman propose, but even if she was, it would be looked down on because that's something that the man's supposed to do. That less like who has the power in the relationship. I think when people talked about AD and how she presented her body to him, I think that's also, she's been indoctrinated in this, like taught this, like this is what gets their attention. So let me lean into that. Even I do that sometimes with stuff, because if you're not, praised for this and you're praised for this, like, oh, you're such a good person. Like I had a friend tell me, oh, you have a good personality. You're such a loving person. All the other stuff. I was like, girl, I can't wear that to the club. When people don't see my personality as like how, like, why can't the same way you're telling somebody else they're beautiful, why can't I receive that? And who gets to determine what is and what isn't beauty? So we talk about like colorism exists. We can't over whatever it exists. So we have to consider that there is colorism involved. She's a dark-skinned woman. We cannot remove that from AD's experience, period, in this dating thing. And even Netflix, Love is Blind, not having that many dark-skinned women, that many Black women, period, like is real. Like we're talking about beauty. Black dark-skinned women, Black women, period, Black folks, period, is not looked at as beauty. There's only specific type of Black folks who are casted. I don't know anything about Kwame and all the other stuff, but I can get into interracial stuff, another discussion. But yeah,
well, we can ask Kwame's Ghanaian brother.
Can we add?
Maybe even.
Can we add to this? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Go, Jess. I was going to say, first of all, I was going to say, okay, sorry. I was going to say, first of all, let me validate your experience, right? So this is not about invalidating any Black woman's experience or any dark-skinned woman's experience. I know colorism exists, right? And so I don't want to invalidate your experience on that. What I do want to pay attention to is there may be other factors that may be playing a part in this situation, right? So first and foremost, in this situation, I believe by watching what I saw of AD and watching Clay, there's a heavy emphasis on the sexual energy between the two of them. Now, whenever a man is very heavily sexually inundated, it's because he lacks emotional ability to connect with somebody. This is what happens, right? So you tend to find yourself being able to communicate on a sexual level rather than an emotional level. And what AD did was feed into that. Let me give you an example. When it came down to Bean Dip, it was about her body. It wasn't Clay doing it. It was Laura and Jeremy. When it was saying about her ass, and Chelsea's like, oh, ass, she started wiggling her ass and showing it to people, right? Because she's also understood, and yes, part of this is patriarchy. It's part of the system that we live in. She's understood that there is a reward for your body being able to move a man. So what she's done is she's leaned into it. Hence why I said being very careful about attraction and how it works, that if you focus more on your body, what you will find is most men, they get excited by the body. It doesn't make them commit. Because oftentimes, and I'm talking from a biblical perspective, when men look at women, what they want is a face and the body to connect for them personally as an attraction piece. And then they look at the qualities of that woman and then they commit. And what I was looking at AD and Clay was, I don't think he's ever going to commit, because I don't think personally he was actually invested in her face. This is me being personal. She's a beautiful woman. I find her attractive. My issue was when I saw him first come out of the reveal, that wasn't a brother who was impressed by her face. The comments that he was making was not a brother impressed by her face. And that was where I had a problem with it. So my final point in this is, we've been indoctrinated as Black people. History tells us this. We've been over-sexualized, specifically Black women, right? And so what's going to happen is there's going to be that indoctrination, which is going to play a double-edged sword. Because if you can lean into it, you can kind of win a little bit because you can get the attention. The problem is, what kind of attention are you going to get? And I think here with AD and Clay, first of all, has got commitment issues all over the board. He doesn't know how to commit emotionally. He's crying whenever he has to explain about what he's done wrong in the past. And he told us he's a rock star trying to be monogamous. That brother ain't gonna commit to that poor girl. And so AD bought into it because you know what I'm saying? I'm like, and AD's a healer, doesn't know any better. You know what I'm saying, Chu? So I'm gonna leave it there. But
you know what? I really wanted to get into the other couples first, but you know what? I'm glad that we're here because there's so much to discuss, and then we can get into the other couples later. I like that you brought up the rock star aspect of it. When we watched their wedding, his dad comes in. Your daddy, who you have been exposing since the time them cameras went up. Clay, how's your day going? My daddy cheated on my mama. Clay, would you like something to eat? My daddy cheated on my mama and he took me on cheating trips with him. Like, it just was crazy. And then his dad comes in, not knowing that his son has been like dragging his ass, but he comes in on his wedding day. And the speech was all about how they were both track stars. They ain't runners, they are track stars. That was the speech. You were a runner, you were a track star. That was the speech. And I thought to myself, you know what? This is a good example for Black men to watch. Because I want y'all to see how delusional y'all be sometimes. And also how y'all don't be talking about nothing that matters. We are down to the wedding, and this is the speech. Can we talk about just the overinflation of himself that Clay had and how that seeps through, I think, how he sees relationships and how his daddy helped that?
Clay is the prize. Is giving he's the prize. Remember, even Jesse, you pointed out when he walked up. Listen, even Jesse, you pointed out when he walked up, it's your name and your fiance's name. Hey, mama, you see my name up there?
Literally.
I think he's been taught to do that, but I can't imagine my mother or like my father coming in on my wedding and not like. I've had some real moments with my dad, like real moments about like what it is to be a man, like whatever, no matter like me being queer or not. To see this man come here and talk about like, yeah, you remember how you beat me and I wasn't out of shape. Don't tell, I wasn't out of shape. You know, you got good. Like you was good. I ain't out of shape. It's just so much focus on him. And I just also don't see no man that age wearing no alpha pin to no son's wedding. I don't know. Alphas, y'all can jump. I just thought that was very, I was like, is it going to do every time you tell a lie? Like, is that the thing that you just rub the thing before you go on an Apollo show? Like you rub it, like every time for good luck or something, every time you take your son, you're taking your son on cheating adventures.
Yep.
Door to Explorer teas, like swiping, no sticking. Like, I'm confused. Like, this is not a man. And to see that Clay said his dad did not apologize. Mm-hmm. He apologized in his own way, which means he didn't take accountability for it. And Clay probably doesn't even know what accountability is, to be honest.
Well, I think he did a good job of taking accountability at the reunion, but he had no choice.
Yes.
He had no choice. Like the whole world's beating your ass. You got Wale. Wale ain't give us no piece of song or nothing in years. But he's on Twitter talking about, yeah, y'all see with Clay on Love Is Blind.
Airbnb.
That was madness.
What say you?
I think that's why he apologized, though, because his image was torn down. Because if Clay goes to date any other woman, even if the woman has never watched the show, if she show a picture, because Clay wants to be shown. He likes being shown. And people love telling him that he looks good, too, which feeds into his ego. Because even Mama Jackie, the whole basement was flooded with stuff. I was like, is she okay?
We're gonna get back there. We're gonna get back there. Keep that thought. Kojo, just add your thoughts to this and we're gonna go back there.
Well, you know what? Listen, obviously the dad situation is crazy. I mean, the dad for me showed no growth. And it was a really stark comparison between the mother and the father in terms of the growth that actually happened. That he couldn't even, in that whole scenario, he made it one with his son about himself. And when it was about his ex-wife, the mother of Clay, he still made it about himself. And that told me he was still, he's still in a victim mindset that, you know what, it's been done to me. So therefore, I'm still a victim. And when people are in that place, they struggle to be able to see anything else because the sympathy and the empathy and the validation and attention that they get from people, it's hard to remove themselves from that space. That's been imputed onto Clay. Now, I do think Clay is a bit more aware because he's able to voice what's going on in his mind. The problem with Clay is that the attention and the validation that he gets from being a choice pick. Let's be honest, he's a choice pick. He's 6 foot, dark skin, did athletics. The brother's a choice pick. And so the problem with that is when you have your choice pick, you always have attention. When you have so much attention consistently, it's hard to focus on self and look within yourself. Many of us have gone through experiences where we haven't had that opportunity, where you didn't have attention. So you had to focus inwardly. He ain't had that time. It's almost like being good looking all your life and and never having a personality. The reason why you never had a personality because you never had to work for it. And so I think Clay's got to a place where he's starting to realize like he's in two minds. I'm a bastard, I know that, but the problem is I'm trying to be different, but I don't know how to get to the other side. And so he's still trying to work through that at that point in time. So I think, I never liked the dad situation. I thought that the fact his dad hasn't apologized to him tells me that that has got a long growth to go. And Clay's got to do some work as well. So yeah, sad times.
And can I say, like, watching the interaction with his dad actually gave me a lot of perspective, because I will say, like, praise God, I've been blessed to be in a family where, like, my dad has been with my mom. That's it. I haven't seen like, I don't have the experience of like outside babies and secret partners and all that stuff, but I do realize a lot of my friends come from broken homes, and sometimes I wonder, like, why are y'all so pessimistic when it comes to dating? Why are y'all so pissed? Because I've literally told my mom, I said, you set me up for failure because I'm looking for what you have. And unfortunately, I see so much brokenness in our community. And watching Clay and watching his dad, I was like, okay, I'm now seeing what a lot of people are going through, which I haven't gotten that perspective before in such a raw way. So on a relationship standpoint, I said this on my channel, on a relationship standpoint, I don't give Clay grace. I'm sorry. Because like Kojo said, he's very aware of all the stuff that he is dealing with, these demons, these potential disappointments and stuff. And I feel like as a grown man, you have a responsibility to say, okay, so I'm not in a place to entertain somebody right now. Let me go fix up and then come and, but on a personal level, my heart did break for him. When I was in university, my mom called me randomly and she apologized. Mind you, I feel like my mom did a stellar job raising
Your mom apologized to you?
Absolutely.
Wait.
Absolutely.
You're African.
I am African. I am Zimbabwean. I was born and raised in Zimbabwe. But
an African parent apologized?
Sure did. Uber religious too.
A parent apologizing, period.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because they don't be apologizing.
I did the best. Listen, I did the best I can. I did the best I could.
Yeah, no. It was a genuine apology. And I didn't even feel like my mom raised me in an improper way. But that apology, she said, if ever I had done anything to not make you feel seen as my child, to not make you feel loved as my child, if you feel like whatever she said, I am sorry. And I'm like, my mom didn't even do even an iota of the things that Clay's dad did to Clay. So to see
somebody
the
in the chat said,
Clay,
somebody said, I'm still waiting on my apology from my mama.
It's not going to happen for everybody. As we saw, Clay is still waiting for it. You know what I'm saying? But like me experiencing that healing from not even a super broken situation, it made me even break more for Clay, because I'm like, damn, this is a reality for a lot of people. So relationally, Clay, come on. I put some responsibility on him, some more responsibility than a lot of people in my comments want to, but that's fine. But on a personal standpoint, my heart does break for Clay and people like Clay. It does.
Yeah.
Did you want to add anything, Justin?
I think the only thing is just reminding me of, we saw that on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta with Scrappy and Mama D. And Scrappy was, talking about all the things he's experienced with his mama, and Mama D, which was some real traumatic shit. And he was like, Mama D was like, well, I did the best I could. And it's just, parents just can't understand, hey, girl, you're not perfect. We know you did the best, but we want you to take ownership of some things that you could have done better. The same thing with my parents. We had some experience, even when we coming out, it was very, very difficult. When Clay was talking about his dad was still a good dad, it's as if we have to say that for us. like we can't think that our parents are not like, are not good. Like maybe we'll think about ourselves, like, did I turn out right? Did I turn out the best that I could? And I think that is the reason why he probably does not want to admit that his dad did wrong, because he had to admit that maybe some of the ways he's doing it is like really truly fucking with him. And to really unpack the shit that you're doing and how you're treating other folks, the labor you're requiring on people that you're in a relationship with, like AD, you have to do that work. It is not easy at all. Just going to a therapist, like we tell folks to go to therapists all the time. They be learning what to say from the therapist and be weaponizing shit. Yes. So just because you went don't mean shit to me.
Even when he's like, oh, I did therapy. I even, tried different therapy. You can't even commit to a therapist.
Child.
I got commitment issues. Let me fix that for you.
You can't even commit to a therapist. One thing I've always heard from my friends who are therapists, they tell me all the time, by the time a couple comes to us, it's already too late. That woman has been telling her husband to come to therapy for a very long, long time. Sam Cooke, a long time. Like she been telling you. And by the time it's too late, now you're okay. Well, let's do therapy. Now it's like, here, damn. You know what I mean? It's not really because you're trying to be introspective. You're really looking for solutions within yourself. It's always, well, damn, this is what I got to do now to save this. And it's like, that's not what therapy is about. Can we talk about he's a good man, Savannah? How AD's mom, I just had very unpopular opinions about her mom. Like, it was so funny to watch the difference in the commentary between like white folks and black folks when it came to her mom. Like the white folks, oh my, your mom is such a queen. And she is. Don't get me wrong. Her energy was great. She was beautiful. The way she loves on her daughter, it was great. But her reaction to AD coming in was crazy to me. The whole, like when she first saw him, did y'all catch that?
Oh,
like
Clay. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like it was like, okay, this is the first time you've seen a fine nigga. And mind you, he's here for your daughter, ma'am. And not only that, he comes in after your daughter just told you he hasn't been coming home to her. And then in that conversation, her mom said, well, what do? You work for the president? You work in the Secret Service? And he's like, no, he lists all these jobs that are jobs you can do from home. And then you turn to your daughter, well, y'all could be the Michelle and Barack. Like, what? Can we talk about?
I mean, honestly, the way we were raised plays a big part in who we become. A lot of people don't want to say that, but it's true. We see it in Clay. We see it in AD. I saw an older AD. Like, I was not surprised that AD's mom was like that, because AD seemed easily moved by Clay's words, by Clay's face. The man said, what was that thing, Philippians something? I'm like, not this.
Child, that's the only verse he knows. That is the only verse he knows.
And it's like, after he said that, she was like, that's a good man. Babe, what? No. And then I wish the conversation they had when Clay was absent for the few minutes had permeated a little bit more, because the mom was trying to say, if this don't work out, you are still worthy. And it didn't sink in, because I feel like even though AD has probably heard that a lot, like Justin said earlier, we're still conditioned to think that our value comes in partnership. Our value comes in marriage. And look at this guy. He's got all these accolades. He owns a home. He's beautiful. He's into you. Like, girl, just settle for whatever it is. He's a godly man because he knows 3 verses. Like, I wasn't shocked at all. And I was a little bit saddened, because I was like, God forbid, to bring my mother in again. My mom says, if you never get married, I just want you to have a fulfilling life on your own. Like, my mom doesn't pressure me to get married at all. Mm-hmm. And I wish I had seen that from AD's mom, because you see AD from the show. We don't know her in real life. Yeah. From the show, she puts value in being partnered. Mm-hmm. And the mom seems to also have that same perspective, and it just trickled down. And I wonder, when is that cycle gonna stop?
And how AD kept, when she was at the altar, she said, in her white dress, she said, I would have did everything. I would have did everything for you.
There's nothing he could have said that would have made her say no.
This man ain't said none of this shit. You, Jesse, you talk about he was saying, she was saying, oh, he's a good provider. We ain't seen none of the man wasn't even coming home.
We never even saw Clay provide you a sandwich.
A pay stub. A W-2.
Nothing.
A 1099.
Nothing. And mind you, this is season 6. I don't know if y'all remember season 4 with Brett and Tiffany. The way Brett, well, see, you didn't watch, Justin, but Tiffany and Brett's season, Brett would set up photo shoots. He became her photographer. Like, he would be setting up photo shoots. He would take her. I remember one time she was stressing over her wedding dress. He took her on a getaway, like surprise getaway. And this is a black guy. This is the black guy that he was talking to at the reunion. And I made a joke earlier in my review saying he saw either Cameron and Lauren or Brett and Tiffany and was like, oh, hell no, I can't. I'm not doing that. Because Brett, the moment he became Tiffany's fiance, he went out of his way to become her covering. Like, it was so apparent. Like, you're my fiance, you're my woman. Where we gonna stay at? Don't worry about that. I'm gonna get us a place. You can't find your way. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna do this. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna do that. And he said himself, he didn't come from a background that was perfect. But Kojo, I'd love to hear your take on how he's a good man, Savannah. You know what I want you to address? How Black men, especially heterosexual Black men, can take advantage of that outlook.
So the good man Savannah situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have an unpopular opinion again once more. I'm so sorry, guys. You know what? I'm working on a video right now, or a series of videos called the Mirror series. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Having spent some time in the wilderness doing some stuff that I shouldn't have been doing, that the good Lord knows I shouldn't be doing. I started to realize that the people that were meeting me were a mirror of me, right? AD and Clay are a mirror of each other. A lot of us believe that Black men, and a lot of them are, can be trash bags. And I'm not going to deny that there are trash bags out there. They're black, they're white, they're blue, they're green, and they're orange. What I want to say is this, though, in regards to the situation, is that I want to first validate women too. I do believe that women, not just Black women, women in general, need to decenter men from the equation. What that essentially means is that your self-worth and your self-importance is not dictated by your connection to a man. And that leads, when you can decenter men, you can also start to work on what we call the emotional independence. Because a lot of women are attuned to their emotions much better than most men, but they're not emotionally independent. They're emotionally dependent, meaning that once a man doesn't feel you, or you don't get the man that you like, you start questioning your self-worth. We can call it patriarchy, we can call it society, we can call it how you grew up. But that's also a part of the relation. That's also a part of relationship between men and women that needs to happen, right? We're starting to get there. We're starting to see it, and we've seen how the reactions happening when women start detoxing men and decentering them. There's starting to become a warfare. That's a part of it. I think in terms of the good man Savannah situation, when we look at someone like Clay is not a good man. He's a nice guy. He's not a good man. Right? And when you look at Brett, I said this on the other day, I said sometimes these shows, it's about the grace of God and the luck of God, the luck of life, because Brett himself has met someone, okay, he's met Tiffany, right? But Brett himself is somebody who serves. Yep. So due to his, but that's because of his trauma too. His trauma informs him to be overly serving. So if a woman meets that kind of man, she's blessed because he wants to overly serve. But the unfortunate part here with Clay is that he ain't built that way. He's built to take.
Yeah.
And the problem with takers like Clay is they often meet people, quote unquote, who are called healers, called AD. The problem with a healer is they are also as arrogant and as egotistical as the person who's taking advantage of them, because they're both a mirror of each other. Right? Because the healer believes that if I can get you to change, that means I get some self-worth. That means if I can get you to come to my side and see how I'm looking at life, and I change you, then I must be important. I must be special too. And that's where your ego lies into. That's why AD was sticking with Clay. And Clay, too, being a manipulative individual, saw AD and said, well, fair enough, if you think you can pull me to that side, I'm going to take advantage of that too, because in that moment, whilst you're going to be trying to pull me over there, I'm going to be pulling you to my side too, right? I'm going to take advantage of your quote-unquote kindness, which is really just niceness. I'm going to take advantage of your servitude, which is really you trying to manipulate me to make me feel like you're the most amazing woman, when really and truly you don't even love yourself. Because if you did, and you knew what emotional connection actually entailed, AD would have saw Clay coming a mile away. You know why we don't know? You know why we don't? Do you know why we know that she's in love with herself? Because not only did she put Clay, she put Matthew, and Matthew gave her a whole "I'm Captain America" speech, and still she went to date him after. That's madness to me. So these are mirrors. So you're right. There are a lot of men who are not great, and they are trash bags. But if you keep dating them, I've got to ask you, what mirror are you holding up? You might have to look at yourself and say, actually, why do I like them? What is it that's drawing me to them? This is not blaming AD solely. Clay is, for me, manipulative in the way that he knew that he dragged her to the end. He didn't need to. He could have quit. But because he was getting validated, he ain't going to do it. So, yeah. So I'm definitely with you guys on this particular aspect.
Let me ask you guys a question. I really like that you brought up the whole Matthew thing. I was watching the Nick Vale podcast, and she said, she gave more insight into Matthew. She said Matthew reached out to her, that he was on an apology tour. He said she was not the only girl that he went on dates with after the show, that actually he went for the other Amber first. She knew it, and she still went on multiple dates with him. And just hearing her say that, I'm thinking to myself, number one, okay, she not really what a lot of y'all want her to be, okay? We just have to really face the facts that this girl would be attracted to a pile of turd. Like, if it gave her attention, she would go out with a pile of turd. Literally. She feels very validated by attention, even if it's bad. Like, she just likes it. There's no way I would give a man who played on my dead daddy in order to get me to tell him yes, knowing he had no intention to move forward with me. This man was using your dead daddy. He lying on your dead daddy, lied on your dead daddy. He was getting his Nicki Minaj on in the pods about your dead daddy. Then when he found out that Amber daddy was dead too, he was playing with her dead daddy. Like, it was crazy. The whole, I don't know if you guys caught that in the whole pod situation.
Amber heard that too, is what they both had their parents. Oh, wow. I didn't know he played at both sides. That is nasty work.
Yes, he was playing them. And so there is no way I would give that type of person a chance to play with me. Then you going down to that white man's house and he cooking for you. Let me tell you, now listen, some of y'all think I'm racist. I'm not. I just
Black people can't be.
King of Reed's get her. Live.
What you got? You can be prejudiced, but you can't be.
Yeah, because I always say, listen, everybody white sit tight. Because listen, this is a Black women's channel, it's a Black women's space. But let's be for real now. A white man who sat in the pods and told you how, you know, America's watching me after he done played on your dead daddy. Now he on this tour going out with all these other white women. Then you the last person he called. You a Black women. Now you down to his apartment eating his dinner. We know he ain't seasoned it. We know he ain't clean that meat, but you out there eating unseasoned, unclean meat. Like, it has to be, we have to talk about that.
See, but this is why earlier I was saying I'm not gonna blame Black men not being attracted to Black women and coming on the show, and that's why the Black women get treated bad. Realistically, if we all want to be honest in life, we get treated the way that we allow people to treat us. And if it was people treating us that way by force, that's criminal. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I can't be like, this person played this person. You allow certain things to happen. And with that allowance, it ties into conditioning. So I'm not going to make it seem like, you know, there isn't a reason for why we allow certain things to happen, right? But I tried to I find it weird to say I'm holding somebody accountable, whatever. I gave commentary regarding AD and how she allowed so many things to slip because I want to get chosen at the end. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, Black, white, red, green, orange, yellow, whatever, we accept certain things because we feel like this might be my time. Yeah. And then turn around when it doesn't end up being your time. Mm-hmm. Oh, but I got played and this is what always happens to me. If it always happens to you, like Kojo said, maybe it's because it's a mirror situation. You keep picking people who are a reflection of you and what you are missing. And because you don't want to take accountability, you want to say, well, it's because of that person. Come on.
Yeah.
I also think that desire played a lot in it too, because she was fascinated with Clay's looks. She was fascinated.
Talk about it.
Fascinated. When you look like Clay, you don't have to show up in all those type of ways. Like, because it can always, the capital that comes with being desirable, you don't, why? Clay has never had to do any of these things from the time that he was young. Yeah. And I guarantee you, his dad looked probably really good back in the day too. He's still a very good looking older man. Yeah, so it's just it's just you don't have to perform all these niceties. Like, if you're just attractive, you're desirable. It's like, why do I need to do all of that? Like, you'll take the bare minimum. Period.
Mm-hmm. What do you say, Kojo?
You know what? This is such an interesting situation because I think, like I said, I see both AD and Clay, and I do feel for AD. You know what I mean? As a fellow person who has some of the same tendencies she has. I can be honest with you. I have some of the same tendencies. And it's because we're not very well emotionally wired and connected that we can't see when people are playing us in our face, right? And that there's like you said about AD and Matthew talking about the situation. I can imagine myself in the past probably taking the same thing from a girl. I've been like, maybe she wasn't meaning that, because what you're really saying is, I wish somebody would have given me grace in my lifetime, or I wish somebody would have seen me or appreciated me, or someone have heard me. And that's also a part of being emotionally connected, right? And so one of the difficult things is if you're not very well emotionally connected, but you can express emotions, people believe, oh, you're very well, you're not. You need to understand I think there's like 12 steps when it comes to emotional connection. And the last step is actually the first step, meaning know thyself. And when you are able to express your needs, your desires, and your wants and the values, and you're able to verbalize it, right, in a less than passive way, in a more assertive way, then you are starting to connect to yourself. And this then feeds into other areas of emotional connection. I can see, me and AD, I see her. I really do see her, because I can understand why you're accepting less, because you've always had to accept less. You've had to abandon yourself to survive. So when somebody presents something that is very familiar, it's more of a familiar spirit than it is actually it being of something good to you. And so sometimes when you look at the situation with her and AD, I'm looking at her like, I understand, man. You've abandoned your own emotional self. So when he presents the lack and the little and the minimum, you're going to take parts of it because you want to be desired and you want to be wanted. And Clay, like I said, he's got a lot of options on the table. Yeah. Well, his looks are going to open a lot of those options. But he got big problems too, because he couldn't keep a gal. That was also his big problem. He told us himself, he can't keep a gal. You know what I'm saying to you? Yeah? He can get them, but he can't keep them. And that makes him feel some type of way too. So now we've got two people in the same position, like trying to figure out how to be desired and wanted, but also valued. And I felt for AD. I do have sympathy for her as well. So, but what I'm going to ask her to do is sit on the bench with me. Let's sit on that bench together, baby, okay? And let's heal, okay? Because we don't need to be on the field of play, because we're going to get injured again.
Yeah. Do you guys, like watching the show, do you guys feel that Clay played in AD's face, or do you guys feel that AD played in her face?
Both.
Well, yes.
Yeah, both.
Yeah, I agree.
I also feel like, did Clay know that? Did he understand the show he signed up for? I really would have loved to see the lattes ask him that. Nobody asked him no real questions. Like, did you understand that when you signed up for this show that marriage was the goal? Because from top to bottom, and even again, I heard AD herself say to Nick Vale on the podcast, from the time we're in the pods, he always voiced to me that he wasn't ready for marriage. And I'm like, wait a minute, they never showed that on the show, but here she was saying it. So you knew.
Yeah.
I think production is also protecting themselves, because if they would have asked that question, you all didn't do the work. Y'all didn't do the reading. Y'all didn't talk to him. And you knew that this person was not interested in being married, but you still casted him.
Yeah. With AD getting played, I mean, she said that they had many conversations where he was like, I would not lead you down this path. to leave you high and dry. So that's where I will say, okay, maybe he did come in with the whole, I don't know if I'm ready for this, found AD, fell in love, and thought, you know what, for you, I will. However, like we said in the pods, Ben said, I'm not ready for this. She and her mom, if I remember correctly, he said AD and her mom played the show for me.
I couldn't believe it.
She knew. So she was like,
Yeah.
you know, okay, maybe if I show, look,
Yep.
babe, but babe, it's supposed to be like this. Sis, if you have to convince him, you've already lost the battle. You've already
Pick me,
lost.
choose me, love me. That's what it was giving. Pick me, choose me, love me.
Yeah.
And I hate that for her, but you know, when you've been taught that, I can't hold her to. I offer grace to her because it's just like, girl, damn, because even we see people who have been single for so long and have no kids. What's going on? Like, how you a woman ain't got no, you can't keep a man? Like women, or like if you can't keep no man, like it's the end of the world for you. You ain't got no kids. Like you can't even say you don't want kids.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like we still haven't got to, you can't say that. Like, what do you mean? You don't want to, that's what you are here for. That's what your womb is for.
And it's like, no.
Like, you need to be reproducing.
No, I actually don't have to do this. I actually have a choice over what the fuck I want to do with my body. Speaking of pick-me's, can we talk about Chelsea? What I didn't like about the reunion was they asked Chelsea nothing. And her and Jimmy were up there neck and neck with AD and Clay to me. Like the stuff that we saw on camera was, I have an unpopular opinion that Chelsea is an emotional abuser.
It's not unpopular.
It's not unpopular. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think she is
they don't like Chelsea at all.
Oh my God. She's a textbook, narcissistic, gaslighting, emotionally abusive Karen. Her ability to live in another world is astonishing. Like, you will see that the sky is blue and she will tell you it is green and then start crying about it because it is green to her. I wanted to get your thoughts on, first of all, the fact that they didn't ask her anything, and also just the fact that, was Jimmy wrong for not breaking up with her sooner?
Yeah, I do think he was wrong for not breaking up with her sooner, especially because I do not like when people hold on to stuff and then want to just pile it on whenever it's convenient. Chelsea did that a lot, but Jimmy does it too. And it's a little bit more subtle, so people call it out not as much. But if you know that your deciding factor was the fact that she violated your friend's privacy or whatever, then you should have, if you claim to love her, because apparently they dated after the show, that should have been your moment to say, you know what, I gotta walk away. So I think, like Kojo was saying earlier, the people who we attract tend to be a mirror. I do think that a lot of Chelsea and Jimmy's attributes are the same. We start to see little insecurities of him come out at the little beach thing when he was like, why would you say that they're the strongest couple?
Yeah,
I don't, whatever. But because Chelsea's the more erratic character, I'm sure they leaned into that a lot. Chelsea also talked about, there was a time where Jimmy said that he wanted to go back home to his own apartment. He said he was going to bed. Apparently he then butt dialed her and all his little girlfriends were over at his house. So like there are parts of Jimmy that are also evasive with the truth. He's avoidant when it comes to, you know, altercations and stuff like that. He doesn't want to take accountability for certain things. And as somebody who's as immature, as somebody who's as insecure as Chelsea, that stuff's gonna drive you crazy. So you do get to the point where it's like, okay, well, maybe I just got to start making up stuff, because when I don't think anything's wrong, things are going wrong. When like anything is possible with you, not absolving her, because girl. And I think that they didn't ask her because they thought maybe it would have been a liability to have her have a mental breakdown on the show like that. So maybe that's why they chose not to say anything. But Two peas in a pod, them two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, and Chelsea talked about it in her TikToks as well, that she has a lot of work to do with her insecurities. And I get it. I feel like they were the worst for each other, to be honest. Jimmy was not interested in Chelsea
No, at all.
Jimmy was first of all, Jimmy is a drunk. Let's talk about that.
And Chelsea, this was a drunk too.
Yeah, but Jimmy always had a beard. Yeah, he always had.
And you saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah. As somebody who was in the army for 7 years around folks like Jimmy and his daddy, like when they face started turning red, he drunk all the time. They be drinking. I love me a beer. Gotta get me a beer. It definitely gives that. But they were the worst for each other because Jimmy was not interested in Chelsea like that. And I think he tried to, hey, I think these people are aware of how bad it will look if they hurt someone's feeling on the show. So they try to go with it. Like they some of them are very calculated because they do not want to get ate up online. That's why Clay was continuously making his mistakes because he was not aware. He was not aware, but he should have told her when he saw her, even his curiosity of what Jessica Rabbit looked like. Yeah. He was very curious of what Jessica Rabbit looked like. Just why would she say that? He was trying to ask her, is she a bad bitch? Like, does she look better than you? Like, what's it giving? And Chelsea did not want to say that because of her insecurities. And I feel her. And there's so much about Chelsea and Jimmy that I would love to get into because I wasn't feeling how Jessica was involved in some of the things and the double standards. It's okay for you to, hey girl, like, maybe I should hit him up. Jessica was not interested in Jimmy either. She wants to be on the next show, which is why she's already done filming.
What? Absolutely.
Period. So I wish that Jimmy would have ended up with Jessica just to see how that was going to go because I feel like we would have got more.
I think that
about Jessica.
I actually think they would have been good together, and they had so much chemistry even down to the reunion, which is why I was looking at the fact that Chelsea.
Well, you think they would have been good together?
I think that they would.
I think Jessica is.
I think
Jessica is very calculated.
Yeah, I think she's very calculating too. I actually think she's a plant. That's another unpopular opinion.
Oh yeah, well yes.
She's a plant. The way they sat her up at reunion and gave her so much shine from the time the show came out, she was the first person to do interviews, first person to do Nick Vale. Like she really got pushed. But I actually do think that they actually liked each other. Even when they met each other at the barbecue, they genuinely liked each other. And looking back at it, I really feel that Chelsea was strategic in becoming her bestie and becoming her child's auntie, so she could keep an eye on what was going on between Jessica and Jimmy, which I think is so weird. Like I think that whole love triangle, they didn't spend enough time on that for me because it's like we saw Chelsea bring up Jessica so many times, and they didn't question anything about that. But then you villainize Sarah Ann, which we're going to get to her later. But Jessica, you was giving the same vibe. You was kind of giving the same vibe. And if Jimmy was down for it, it's because Jimmy was scared. He was scared that Shrek wife was going to beat his ass. Let's just be honest. Like there was some times when him and Chelsea would be going at, I actually feared for this man. I really did. Like I thought like, okay, what's going to happen when the cameras go off here?
But I have a question though. Like the reason why I asked if you think that there would be a good match is because Jessica's strict. I was even saying this in my video, like Jessica's kind of strict, Yeah. And with somebody like Jimmy, who's so avoidant, I think it's only fireworks and not the good kind with that kind of pairing.
I mean, you have a point with that.
Yeah. I think Chelsea being friends with Jessica was because like Chelsea was being ate up online. She was called ugly, all these other things. If she had a nasty disposition about Jessica, she would have got ate up even more.
Oh, true.
Because people felt sympathy for Jessica. True. Like Jessica was fake. Oh my God! Even in that moment when Jessica was crying for like the situation with Jimmy, Chelsea did her best to not smile and look happy that she was chosen, because she knows that she would have got ate up. Like, you got this beautiful white woman over here going through, and then your ugly ass over here happy about, taking somebody, man. The sympathy for Jessica is like, it's annoying as hell, because nothing about Jessica gives me authentic, to be honest.
Thank you.
And I'm glad Jimmy called it out. Jimmy said, well, why you didn't tell me I love you first? She wasn't going to say it first.
No.
She was not going to, because she would have had to continue being in love with him. Jessica, I think there's some chemistry, because they was in that camp for them 2 years. So there's a connection. That's all they had. But I don't think that Jessica is attracted to Jimmy at all. I don't like Jessica, please. I went through her Instagram and her stuff. Jimmy is not her type physically. Yeah. So sorry.
Let me submit this to the court. The Chelsea and the Jimmy situation is quite interesting for me. I definitely agree with her being emotionally abusive. I think she needs her insecurities have allowed her to be able to try and manipulate, control, and whatnot. But I'm going to submit the same thing I said for AD and Clay and say it here. They're a mirror. When I look at Jimmy, he is, and as Queenie said, he's an avoidant person. And one thing about avoidance is, and this is going to play into Jessica's situation, him and Jessica are not going to work, because avoidance, one of the things they hate is manipulative people. Why? Because they're manipulative as well. They like to control how the dynamics of a relationship play. Jessica came on too strong, right? Mm-hmm. When she brought the letter, and then when she had an EpiPen moment, he cancelled her in her mind. Yep. And he knew if he went back there, this girl will try to use me and abuse me. Even though Jessica is actually his type. Because when he talks about his past women, they're actually in Jessica's range. Yep. Which also tells me this. He's a person that shoots above his range, because it puts him in a place, more than likely, choosing women who, he can... Let me say, quote unquote, let me say this in a nice way. When you choose up above your level, one part of it is to make you feel some significance because you're choosing above your level, but two, also because you tend to get looked upon in a particular way where, how do I say, I'm trying to think of the word because I don't want to be disrespectful, I'll come back to it because I'm going to say something disrespectful and we're live. But I'll come to that point. But my thing is that when him and Chelsea got together,
you get a gaze that you wouldn't get if you're looking for that approval gaze. You're looking for that trophy because your face card is declining everywhere you go. It's going to decline immediately.
Men do that all the time. Yeah. Oh yeah, men do that all the time. Like especially with their light skinned wives.
Yeah,
Then Cat Williams
said it. Yeah.
Like yes, like they have to. That extends them capital.
Yep.
That extends them capital, and I'm not surprised that Jimmy. I do believe Jimmy probably got some good.
What Chelsea said.
Not the size like this. Chelsea's a liar.
She was happy.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. I got scammed into being in a relationship with an ugly man with a big old penis. Okay, that man was Haitian. That's all I was.
Now, how you get conned into that situation?
Had a Haitian Zozo, but he was ugly as hell. But the minute he pulled that thing on out, I said, you know what?
But how did you even get to that point, Jessie? Like,
was it good though?
Man, we were friends. See, we were friends first. We were friends. So
this is why I don't be friends
like this.
The continents were meeting.
That's why I'm saying because women out here giving you chance when you're ugly to them. They're gonna mistreat you.
No, he actually was a really good boyfriend until he just two Haitians together. It just wasn't working. He was too controlling. Like Haitian men are very controlling. That's been my experience with Haitian men. He was very controlling. But since we're talking about, face cards, I really felt that also they didn't give enough attention to the Megan Fox thing. Because Megan Trainor telling that man that, I get called Megan Fox by other people, though. By other people. And she didn't even say Megan Fox. She's like, MGK's girl. And here's the thing. She knew exactly what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing. She knew that put her up in the running to become America's Next Top Model. She knew exactly what the fuck she was doing with that bullshit. She lied to that man. And I feel like they went easy on her. Like, do y'all feel like that was a manipulative thing to do? And do y'all feel that she gives Megan Fox instead of Megan Trainor?
I mean, I don't know where you started calling her Megan Trainor. That's crazy. But I honestly wonder how Chelsea's friendships are in general, because you telling me this your bestie now, this is your whatever. Apparently, they were even friends during the show. It's not something that happened after. So you have no problem trying to prop yourself to have a one-up on your friend. It makes me think of, when you used to go out and some guy would be talking to you and then your friend would be like, well, she got, well, it's makeup. Well, she, like, that's the kind of person that Chelsea is. And I wonder on a day-to-day basis, like, how do her friendships work, But was it manipulative? Absolutely. Especially at the reunion, she's saying, oh, honestly, it just slipped out. You initiated that conversation about celebrities.
Girl.
How does that slip out? And let's be honest, in certain angles, does she favor Megan? I will say yes.
I know
but
you
regardless, no, she does. Guys, you guys want to be
I think she's pretty.
I'll allow
In what
it.
angle?
It's
At
fine.
certain angles, I look like
saying
Morgan
Chelsea
Freeman.
ugly.
You know what I mean?
I'm
We're
not
not
saying she's ugly. But
There ain't no
y'all
angle.
look, if y'all
She
look
just damn sure don't look like Megan Fox.
If y'all look at the things that people have put together, at certain angles, you can absolutely see it. The favoring. I'm not saying she looked like her, but
It's like all white people look alike. That's what you're trying to say right now.
I'm sorry,
No,
but that
don't do
forehead, that forehead,
But-
and that skin.
at the end of the day, whether or
was
not she
giving
wants to
Natalie
feign
Nunn.
ignorance, it is very clear that whatever inside she cannot accept about herself, she has to, exaggerate other things. Like, well, maybe if he thinks I'm pretty, and maybe if he thinks that I'm agreeable, because she was very agreeable in them pods. Well, maybe if he thinks that, that'll keep him. But at the end of the day, these insecurities are going to reveal themselves whether you want them to or not. And so, like Clay, he got stuff to work on internally. Chelsea got so much to work on internally. And I think that it was manipulative. Will she ever admit that? No, she won't.
No.
Is this the first time we've seen a person, and when I use the term fat, I don't use it as a bad word. I'm fat for myself. But is this the first time we've ever seen of like a fat white woman on the show like get picked?
Yes. Yes.
No. Alexa's bigger than Chelsea.
Alexa last season.
Alexa was big too.
last season.
But we don't see a lot of them.
But she was tall.
Yeah. So I think Chelsea's definitely struggling with that, being like she was the fattest person. I mean, there was another black woman. She was kind of a little bit heavy, but we didn't see much of her. Like we saw her at the peak. Yeah, she did a peekaboo, and then they didn't show much. I wanted to know more about her, though. I was curious.
Apparently, she got engaged to Jamal, and we didn't see that. Yeah,
that wasn't gonna work.
Is that the pastor dude?
Yeah, the pastor, Pastor Jamal Bryant's son, one of his spiritual sons.
But with Chelsea, too, it's not even Chelsea is fat. It's just Chelsea sees herself as the chubby kid. People who see that into their adulthood, it shows. Yeah. And even if you do lose the weight, even if you do end up being a size 0, they carry that, but I'm the chubby kid. And they got to overcompensate in these ways.
Do you guys?
The mind hasn't caught.
Once you fat, no matter if you lose weight or not, you are forever fat.
It doesn't matter.
Like people will remind you, like we do Jennifer Hudson, like how we do Luther Vandross. They love to remind you that, oh girl, you're still fat. That's how anti-fatness works.
Yeah, that's so true. Do you guys feel that the show is doing us a disservice by not including more fat people? I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people that are not included, but I feel like fat people, I feel like we're not seeing enough like brown people.
Put us on the show, man. Put us on the show.
You don't want carnage. You don't want to know what happens.
No, it happens on Love is Blind Brazil.
That's the real experiment, though.
That's the Brazil one. They have genuinely fat women. They have women who look like me proper. Yeah. So I want to see it. I don't care.
Well, you know what?
How did it go?
I feel like the same company that does this show does Married at First Sight too. Kinetic does Married at First Sight. I feel like I've seen more fat people on there, but not enough either. But I've seen more. Maybe. No, you're right. Actually, I have not. Yeah, so these shows, they don't believe that fat people deserve love. Okay.
Well, I mean, you see they hopping in folks' DMs to cast them. This just goes off of what you look like.
Yeah.
And I don't see how we cast folks via Instagram and we get Jeremy. I don't know how we get Jeremy.
Let's talk about Jeremy, who currently has his ex, who is
the king of pew 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 pew.
Yeah, who try to pew 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 him. So You know what's
which
crazy?
is not funny.
It's not funny, but I think the pew 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 is what makes it funny because we don't want to get banned or nothing. But Shmeremy, when the show first came out, immediately we found out he had a side wife, a side kid. He was hiding from the world. Like Drake was hiding his son from the world. He was hiding his side wife and his child from the world. Then he went on to this show, and he came out and he said, first of all, I didn't have that information. Casting knew, and casting reached out to me. I didn't reach out to casting, and he showed that casting sent him a DM. What do y'all think about Shmeremy and the Laura relationship? Let's talk about that. Because I feel like Laura, even though what Shmeremy did was wrong, and Shmeremy obviously is somebody who's liable to pew people and all this other shit. But I feel like Laura didn't get enough smoke because I don't think Laura was nice to him at all.
No, not at all.
Never was.
And then hid behind, this is just our banter, girl.
No, that's not how.
But even the parents, even Laura mama, clocked it and said, "Girl, if you do everything, she's gonna walk all over you." They've seen their daughter. The way she talks, Laura is one of the bros. She's one of the bros. Like she's kicking back with a beer. Like she's talking shit. Like Laura is wearing the strap. Period. Like it's getting that. Laura, let me tell you. When Laura was so mad at the picnic, I was happy seeing Jeremy and Sarah Ann on that jet. They edited. Let me tell you, y'all ate that one little thing because Laura, she cussed him out. She said it's done. Period. When I tell somebody it's done, it's done. Now she's why you're not upset? She wanted him to be upset. She wanted to react. You just said you was good, sister. What's going on? You want him to be as hurt as you're trying to pretend that you're not.
Yeah.
And then she started breaking down.
Yeah.
You start breaking down like, girl, you talk to that man crazy. He even said how she deals with conflict. It's a chop. I'm not letting nobody talk to me like that, especially not somebody I'm dating. The way she talked to him, she belittled that man constantly.
Yeah.
It was a chop.
Yeah. I think with
the other white woman from January 6th.
Mercy. I think with Laura, it's a lot of like self-fulfilling prophecy with her when it comes to her relationships. She treats these men a certain way. And then when they finally decide, you know what, this is enough. See, this always happens to me. You see, men don't want to appreciate me and men don't want, but you have been a tyrant in this relationship. Who's going to stay for that? Even was it the sister? I think it was her sister or sister-in-law was saying, how are you going to basically say, I accept you as long as you change all these things about you? Like, that's not how partnership works. You can't just build the person who you want. So do I think Chelsea, do I think Laura got enough smoke? Absolutely not. With Jeremy, I don't know why either of them wanted to pursue him. And Laura's kind of weird too, because she'll be like, he's a clown. I knew he was going to cheat. I knew he was going to whatever. So why did you entertain him? So why did you stay? Okay, we'll start there. But with Sarah Ann, we watched Jeremy on the show say, I've been trying to talk to you. I want to reconcile. I want to whatever. And at the same time, he's telling you, I'm going to leave this girl. It's going to be me and you, baby. Why would you see, hear, experience all of that and then still have the audacity to be barking up, y'all don't know me. Y'all don't know us. We love each other. We whatever. Girl, he's not the prize. He's not the prize from what we have seen. And definitely what we are hearing online, allegedly. Ain't nothing to bark up about Jeremy about, girl. Sad.
And why they ain't put no makeup on none of the white men's? Everybody was looking like Casper, the friendly ex-boyfriend. Like but Jeremy, Trevor, they gave Trevor a $50 Sears gift card. And
I loved it. I loved it.
they said, all right, girl, you can go back to... They sent him back down to... They sent him back to the fitting room. And Marshall's like TJ Maxx.
I love that.
Oh, but yes, Laura and Jeremy, I didn't like how everybody was dragging Sarah Ann. I think for me, and this is the thing that we disagree on, I don't blame Sarah Ann for messaging Jeremy saying, hey, girl, what's it giving? Jeremy is a grown-ass man, Savannah. If he was not interested, he would have said, hey, like this is the person I'm with. I'm happy where I'm at. Da, da, da. If now he has said I'm rocking with her, because anytime niggas be saying I'm rocking with such and such, Period. Come on, Queen. That's already a red flag. A man saying that, like, what you mean, Rocket?
I'm
What,
rocking.
Michael Jackson in the chat? What's the
Okay.
like? What does that mean? But Sarah Ann was getting grilled so bad that they made it seem as though Sarah Ann was like the homewrecker. Jeremy's a grown man. All he had to do is ignore it and move on. He wanted her attention. He wanted to talk to her. And Laura should be thankful that he did, so she knows that, hey, it'll be somebody else.
Yep.
It'll be somebody else. Like Sarah Ann, I don't think she was wrong. I just think, I would have did the same thing, depending on how I felt. Like we was in this hopeless place situation. Yeah. I'm going to shoot my shot. If I get deflected, it's on me. But the way they were holding Sarah Ann's feet to the fire more than Jeremy, who made the commitment with Laura, was giving sexism. I don't care what nobody says. Like,
yep, I
you
said
need to hold Jeremy responsible. Yeah, you need to hold Jeremy responsible. Like y'all drag even AD.
Yep.
Oh, I hated it. So many people. AD's the queen. She held her accountable. No, AD was over there windmilling for a white woman who told her white fiance to slap her black titty. You doing all that windmilling?
And did she slap her titty in the pods?
Yeah,
did she do?
I think so.
Slap her titty in the pods?
Yeah. You were letting these white women slap your titty, like, girl. No.
Girl, she probably made us some sweet tea that night too.
Oh my God! Like, what are we doing? And then I feel like they did that because they saw how the internet rolled for AD doing that to Sarah Ann. So they were like, "Oh, we're gonna do that at the reunion too." Like the reunion was so TikTok produced. Like y'all are so not original. Y'all didn't ask no questions about what actually took place on the show. All y'all did was leave it up to TikTok and YouTube. Like y'all took everybody's commentary and you produced the show that way. And it was just weird to me. But yeah, I feel the same. I think that they grilled Sarah Ann way too much. What do you think, Kojo?
Listen, I think they spent too much time on Sarah Ann. Shout out to Sarah Ann for keeping it real. Okay, she sent a message. And the message was reached, and it was delivered, and the person responded. Now, listen, the difference between Jeremy and Jimmy and between Sarah Ann and Jessica is that Jessica actually was planning on pretty much doing the same thing. She didn't send a message, but she was plotting and planning with Laura not long ago. This is why I didn't like the fact that Laura, AD, and all them who are holding, quote unquote, we call girls' code is absolute bullcrap. No. Because girls' code only existed in your girls' group, but it didn't exist in for all women in that stage because. The situation with Sarah Ann, Jessica was here plotting with Laura, who were saying we should feel sorry for, against another woman. And of course, listen, look, Jeremy does what Jeremy do, okay, all right, and that's that's their business. My thing here is that Laura is uber mean with her behavior, and she is a perpetual victimhood mindset kind of person, meaning that she is wanting to always be the victim so that she can be like, see, this is what I mean. And it's like, but babe, did you not see what you contributed towards the actual situation? Did you not see how you were plotting with somebody else, or at least listening to the plot? You can be done for treason with the king just by listening to somebody talk about the king. So you were listening to that person, not checking that person one bit, and you want us to, and that's when I realized the show is producing it in a particular way that was trying to get us to feel some type of way. But baby, we smart, we got some brains here, we ain't gonna fall for your trap. They did Sarah Ann so dirty to the point they were dragging it to a point where, well, you said there was entertainment on TikTok. What did you mean by that? Why are we talking about what she said on the TikTok about her being entertainment? Because at that point, she's being slewed by everybody, and I don't think she's a homewrecker. If I send a message and you respond, that's on you. You that's on you. That you got to handle that. You know what I'm saying? She didn't force herself on him. So for me personally, I wasn't really in it. Shout out to Sarah Ann. She did what she did, and it's what it is.
But did she lie?
Yeah.
No, she lied.
Sarah Ann, when she said,
I think production was protecting herself.
Yeah, did she lie when she said this is entertainment?
No, she didn't lie.
It is.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think they asked that question because there was production trying to protect themselves that this show is not as scripted and stuff. Like that's what. She's already, like Kojo just said, they already burning her alive. Let's just add this so we can protect ourselves. They really were asking questions to make it seem as though the show is not that produced. Like, see how they cleared it up, even though it's like, bitch, you better not fuck up because we got your ass on contract.
Okay.
So
keep it cute.
Don't make me call Portia.
No Portia, child. I do believe Sarah was a martyr. Absolutely. She was a martyr in the situation. But I'll explain why I enjoyed watching the dragging, okay? Me personally, I think if we're to take the show seriously, right? I would find it hard to sympathize with somebody who sees an engagement that does end in a legitimate marriage. Like these marriages are legal, right? So I'm going to see the validity in the engagement as well. For you to infiltrate that and not have remorse, to me, that's what I didn't like about Sarah Ann. It was the fact that, well, my feelings matter and my whatever. Okay, so say you were the fiance, and then Laura came in and was like, well, baby, let me see how things are going. As a woman in that situation, I would be hurt. So I would try myself not to do that to somebody else. Do I feel like they should have held Jeremy a lot more accountable? Absolutely. They dropped the ball in so many aspects. However, I also enjoyed watching that situation happen because you saw how quickly Jeremy had his tail between his legs. Because there were so many opportunities where he could have said, yo, not too much on my babe. Listen, y'all have had your moment. I did what I did. I chose who I chose. Let's move on. Instead, I'm sorry for this. I shouldn't have done that. And, okay, yeah, maybe we did it in the wrong way. And once Sarah Ann saw, okay, well, he's not coming to bat for me the way that I'm going to bat for this relationship. Even she too started to be like, okay, yeah, I mean, maybe it could have been done a different way, So Laura got to see if it ain't going to be Sarah Ann, it's going to be someone else. And Sarah Ann also got to see when y'all's back is against the wall as a relationship, your man not going to have you back.
That is very true.
Go ahead.
Can I just say this one last bit for this? And the reason why I'm back at Sarah Ann is this, right? If we're going to hold Sarah Ann accountable about talking about time, this is why I didn't like what AD and the rest of them were doing. Your person in your own team is not having that girl code and they're not living up to it. You can't ask people to have a moral code and you don't live up to it within your own team. Therefore, you can't jump on somebody like Sarah Ann and be like, it's not done respectfully. I mean, it would have never been respectful, whatever the timing was. You know what I'm saying? And it reminded me almost a little bit like, it's slightly different. Bliss and old boy, what's his name? Now, we knew that old boy left because the girl was mistreating him. He didn't leave because he wanted Bliss in the first place. No offense, it was working now and it seems to be working. God bless them. But it was not working because Bliss was the one he chose. It was not working because that girl was destroying him and he came back. Now, had Bliss sent him a message, I'd have been like, oh, she sent him a message and it was the right timing. He's gone back. So long as you're not married, for me, in this process of a show where they intentionally put you with connected with multiple people, it's completely different to real life. In real life, you're together, you're in a relationship, you're exclusive, you've been together for a few months, maybe even a few years. So it's completely different if somebody comes in and takes your man or girl. In this situation, you've been in for a few days, you don't know each other very well, you're now connecting. For me personally, it's all fair and game until that ring goes on your finger. That's for me.
Yeah. Can I ask y'all?
I just don't believe nobody can take anybody too. Like, I just don't believe nobody can take anybody.
No, they can. He didn't want to be there. End of story.
He did. And he should have been honest and just said that.
Absolutely.
I agree. I think them getting on them jet skis was wild as fuck though. Like you got Laura crying. And they're on the fucking jet ski. They ain't give a fuck. I'm sorry. I ate that up. They ate that up. They ate.
Yum yum.
Yeah, they ate. Num num num. Let's talk about Bean Dip. I didn't like the fact that the lattes did not bring that up. And it was Laura who brought it up on her way out. And she was able to say, oh, I apologize about it. Everybody took it out of context. I mean, as a viewer, I just was so appalled by that. It was racist. Point blank, period. I don't see how anywhere else, how else to look at that. And also it's assault. It is assault. If Jeremy would have went and did that with the understanding that it was a joke or whatever from you, that's still an assault, which is why when he said he was going to do it to her, or when he said, oh, Laura told me to do, AD was like, nah, I would have fought you. Like that would have been a problem. What do y'all think about that? And the fact that they didn't want to address it?
It was an oversight for them, or maybe a choice. I don't know, not to address it. Poor choice. I do think it would have been assault, absolutely, if Jeremy would have done it, joke or otherwise, even though I don't know how that is even a joke. Yeah. With Laura, I don't agree that it is racist. I think that it's racially insensitive because this is something that they were doing already. Like AD was allowing these women to slap her titty like that. So like, I don't know, whatever relationship that they had, that's what they had. The issue that I had was when she was trying to back Clay because she was like, well, why would you say that? My husband is here. My husband don't like that. And then Laura said to AD, oh, he just has to relax. First of all, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
No.
Because shortly after, she was upset about something with Jeremy.
Exactly.
And if like, don't want people to relax when it comes to you, but then when it's your time to be offended by something, everybody else needs to be just as offended as you. I didn't like that. I also didn't like how Clay said, and I didn't notice this, my friend said it to me. He was like, oh, she gets riled up or whatever. I'll talk to her later about it. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
So how are we going to even feel like I want other people, white otherwise, to have my back when my own nigga ain't got my back?
Yeah.
What do you mean I'm going to talk to her about it later? Like, what? So that was my bigger issue with Bean Dip. Because it was something that the ladies were doing in the lounge. That's why I don't have too much smoke for it. Jeremy bringing it up, I don't know why y'all think it's a joke. It's really not a joke. It's not funny, especially directed at Black bodies. But
yeah.
Okay.
Period.
What do y'all say? The men's.
You can go, Coach.
You know what was listen. For me personally, I it was from Bean Dip Saga Gate that I felt some type of way about Laura from that moment. I mean, from step by step, because if you actually watch it again, the moment that Jeremy brings it up and Clay says he's annoyed by it, the first thing that Laura does is minimize it straight away. Yep. Oh, it wasn't a big deal, and then the scene cuts to Brittany talking to Laura saying, but you did tell Jeremy to go and do it, and she was like, no, but doesn't mean that you go over there. So you were instigating to go over there and do that, right? Which is crazy to me, to think as a woman that you're going to be incentivizing your man, and luckily Jeremy didn't do it because he would have been a fool, but incentivizing your man to go over there and flick another woman's breast, a sexual part of a woman in this particular aspect we're talking about, and think that would be a joke. There is no joke here. There's only disrespect. And so what that looked at for me was like, okay, looking at Laura, encompassing her in total, she's got some very devious ways about going about her business. And then when she gets called out, she tries to deflect, because even when AD was trying to hold her accountable towards the end, you saw when the girls were sitting down, Brittany, Laura, and AD, and AD was telling her, but it's not a joke. My man is a little bit, he's angry about the situation. She started to deflect and call, oh, this is such small boy's business. That should tell you something about the friend that you're defending, which is why I didn't like AD defending her. Why are you defending somebody who doesn't even honor you in the friendship, which is just like Clay not honoring you in your relationship? And this is telling us there are too many breaches in the armor of AD at this point. Again, not to go over her again, but then with Laura doing what she did, it just showed me that you really are a disrespectful person. Like, you really need to work on that aspect. Because you can't have gone through this whole situation and thought to yourself that I can't take accountability and it was a joke. And when people do that and they always tell you it's a joke, just know they're going to do it again and they're going to say it again, but I'm joking.
Yep.
Yeah. I think we've seen this throughout history. There was a senator, I can't remember his name, some years ago, who was caught in a picture grabbing a woman's breast and, had to explain that 20 years later. When I was in the Army, we did do silly stuff and goofy things. And it took a Black female officer to like pull me to the side. And I'm thankful for her to this day. Like, even though you're joking, it is still insensitive and it's inappropriate. Like, even though you're doing it, it's inappropriate. And that is because I felt that, like, I'm entitled to do this because I'm a gay Black man. Like, I'm a gay man. There's no sexual attractions, like, so it's just a joke. I've never done anything like a Bean Dip situation, but it's just I'm still a man at the end of the day, and I shouldn't be doing or joking about any of this. Yeah, I don't like the fact that Laura felt that she had access to this woman's body, like, to slap. I don't like, you just don't do no shit like that. And plus, well, she didn't, AD didn't seem to have a problem with it. How do we know that? Because if AD would have popped off and went off, Black women are very aware. I'm sure y'all know. I can't overreact in this moment. It's all these white women's in this thing. If I would have started cutting up, it would have been, oh, she just started acting erratic, and it wasn't. Laura would have played it up even more. Like, oh my gosh, I did Jessica like that last week. She didn't have an issue with it. I mean, oh my gosh, just counsel me. And it's just, I don't trust AD saying it wasn't, that serious, because maybe she doesn't have the language. Maybe she doesn't understand how that is. And maybe she was just playing it safe, which Black women do in moments like that. Like, I'm not going to act out of character because this will be used and weaponized against me.
Agreed.
So she was not supposed to do that. Laura shouldn't have done that. And the way that she downplayed it, and she was able to, I think maybe production probably allowed her to do that because she can control the narrative. She can exit out like, hey, I apologize. She was very decent with her apology, but she was still, you can tell that she really did not learn from it.
No.
So I apologize again and again and again. I was wrong if she took it that way. No, you apologize for what you did. You don't apologize for how somebody perceived it.
Absolutely.
Because apology, it's a mess.
It sucks that as Black people, I can speak only as a Black woman. Like, we're so conditioned to be polite, to be respectable, to be, not to push the boundary too much. Because in my video, when I was talking about the bean dip thing, living in Canada, there's so many experiences of like white women coming into my hair. They don't ask for permission. They feel me up. They touch me up. And I know it is uncomfortable. I have the words to explain what I'm experiencing, but because I've been conditioned to be polite, to be respectable, to be palatable, I eat it. I just shut up. And it pained me to see her only really get a little irritated about it when she was like, oh, Clay needs to relax. Because then she was like, no, okay, well, don't do that. But when it came to her feeling offended, I wish she could have said something. And even if she didn't say something, I feel like a part of it is that conditioning to not say something. It's so sad.
Yeah, I agree. Let's talk about Johnny and Amy.
Yay! You know what?
Go ahead.
Go. Oh, me go? Okay. Let's talk about birth control. Obviously, that's the only thing we really could talk about.
Yeah.
I don't like how
and makeup. Amy's makeup.
Oh, child, no, child.
KOR. I need you.
No, you know what? I want him to say that because you know what, too? So many comments were made about AD, her hair, her makeup, her lashes.
That's fair.
The baddie wedding dress. We ain't even getting to that. But when it came to Amy, it was like my sister was.
Yeah, it wasn't hitting.
It wasn't great.
You know why? Because we ain't looking for them.
I just think she had the wrong foundation. Whatever. I'm not but it's just, it was giving cremation up here, and we saw the difference I can't say what I said in my Patreon video because it looked like somebody,
don't do it.
Some baby powder got it. It was just, it wasn't giving. And people were saying, I was like, is it just me? Like, it's just not matching. And anytime I see that, I'm like, why is the makeup not matching? Like, I don't care if it's on a man or woman, because even what's his name with the BBL body, the coach, I can't think of the football player, the Shay.
Oh,
when they were doing his makeup and had him, the makeup, because that's why when I go and I do things like, hey girl, do y'all have a Black person here to do my makeup? Because y'all not gonna have me looking. Don't put this spray line on me. My hair fading.
Even if they're Black, sometimes that's not good enough. But
yes, because they're used to doing white skin. But Amy, she looked amazing. I'm just glad that she found the right color because it was bothering me. And you kept seeing it on Johnny's nose, like he was doing powder every time he kissed her.
Don't kill me. As for the birth control conversation, though, I just wanted Johnny to admit, I want to hit it raw because it feels better. Because that's what we know he was trying to say.
That's right.
Okay? Yeah. Like, he just wanted to hit it raw, have it feel better, and have no consequences. Yeah. She later on did say it's not just being anemic. She actually does have a condition where, hormones in her body that are foreign or maybe that are elevated is really not good for her. So the way that he was like, I can't say that he was feigning ignorance because I really don't know how much he knew. But the way that he was so like, nah, but like that birth control though, but like you gonna get up because oops, baby, absolutely not. Okay, so if it's so serious for you, you take the initiative to prevent said oops, baby. Like I was so tired of constantly hearing him say, okay, but that birth, okay, but all my exes have had birth, and then I don't care. You are here in this relationship. I have told you. He knew she had the condition and had anemia. And you're still going to press that? I'm sorry. That's concerning to me.
I thought that was
Absolutely
weird.
nuts.
And something does need to be mentioned about the fact that men always feel that burden is on women. No, y'all have ways to control birth as well. Why is it always the women's? Do you guys know what birth control does to women's bodies? Like, it is like,
Not the heterosexual black man turned his camera off.
okay,
I can't speak for this, so come back. Turn that light back on.
Turn that light back on. Yeah, but why is that always on the women? Like, I don't get that.
And
I don't know what kind of men you lot are meeting.
I'm done.
Oh, so you had a vasectomy?
Absolutely. I was carrying when I was on these streets. Okay.
Oh, so you have a vasectomy?
You had a vasectomy?
No, I said I was carrying. What's a vasectomy?
Oh, that's what she said. She said, "Have you?"
Oh, no! I was carrying. No. I wasn't. I wouldn't do a vasectomy. I wouldn't ask you to do the birth control either. Sorry. Anyway, go on, Queenie. Let me step myself back out of such a man.
What I was saying was when they were talking about, she said, "Oh, can I have my grandparents' pictures at the wedding?" And he's like, "No, definitely. I'm not going to be the type of man who says, no, you can't do this." And I'm like, "Yeah, you might not be the type to buck up in that way, but you're definitely a type to stand firm in what you want. And it's going to be very hard for Amy to put in her 2 cents as well. So yeah, you might not be the rah guy, but he's a little bit of a my way or the highway person. And we didn't really get to see much of that."
Absolutely. Now that is a point we can stand upon, because I was so confused as to why this is even a conversation. Personally, I don't know. Maybe I haven't met so many men like that. Maybe just maybe I'm very ignorant on that aspect, right? But as far as I'm concerned, me and my boys, we always used to have a joke. You carry and you make sure, because if I leave it in your hands, that leaves you with all the power and control. And I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what you're feeling. That's how we used to think as men. Well, my boys anyway. Do you know what I mean? So the fact that he was having a conversation about birth control was kind of mad to me. It's like, if you brought that to me, I can understand. But he was actually vying for it, which was scaring me. It's like, either you don't trust your ability to protect yourself, or number two, you really think that she's really out here to get a baby on you. And you really can't afford to have this girl get a baby, because he's got a plan in his head and he's so stringent on that plan. He's just got to be very careful about that. Not that I don't think he's going to do anything crazy, but just because you can actually ruin your relationship that way by being so inflexible that you have a plan. It has to go that way. Bro, sex comes with consequences sometimes, So I don't understand what the conversation was about and why he pretended as if I never knew the dangers of, I never knew how birth control can affect a woman's body. I'm like, you a grown-ass man and you went to school and you were educated like me. Come on.
He wanted to be praised for being a good man and understands all the things. I think it was well played. What do you mean by carry? What is that? Does that mean the plastic bag thing?
Yeah, it means carry a condom. Yeah, we carry.
Oh, okay, I was like, carry. When you said carry, I was like, you having a child? Like, what's going on?
I am done with you, King.
We also talk about the fact that he just didn't want to say, "I want to hit it raw." Like, let's just be honest. Like,
People don't like using condoms.
Yeah, you know how many times I've had to go get a condom because a man just not. I mean, it's just like all willy.
What?
Yeah, just raw dick. Just here you go, raw meat. Just
what is going on?
You don't even know my last name. You don't know my name.
And then when I choose to keep it, it's going to be a problem. But okay.
Terms and conditions may apply.
You just come in the house, right? You just coming in the house, no shoes on or nothing. Just
no shoes on.
Like, it's just crazy. And men just like don't care. Like, that's a conversation to be had as well. It's just like, just how men really do not care to put their bare penis in you. And but then, like Queen E said, let you get pregnant. Let you get pregnant. Now we got a problem.
All of a sudden, he's very well versed on the women's body. Well, I know a clinic where we can. Oh, now you know. Oh, that's crazy.
Right. Now you want to take
it's beneficial for them.
Yeah, no. All right, y'all.
It's the same as you seen that conversation about I don't know if y'all saw that on Twitter. It was a couple of months ago where they said, what's men's men math. Somebody made a joke about men math being, oh, my girl she ain't burning or nothing, so I'm good. Meaning that men do not go get tested
by
themselves. unless their girl got something.
Yeah.
Damn.
You ain't burning, yeah. Like you go down to the doctor and babe, you good? Yeah, I'm good. Okay, cool. I'm good too. What?
When I was on the streets, I had to get checked, baby. You have to get checked, bro. It's important. You can't play around in these streets.
There's things that don't come up in a blood test.
Yeah.
Like, let's be for real. So
yeah.
Anyway, and then men are carriers of so many diseases and that don't show any symptoms as well, like HPV.
Yeah, asymptomatic.
You know, like, so come on now. Well, all right, y'all. Coming to a close, I wanted to talk about two last things. One of those last things being, I want to talk about AD's wedding dress. I saw so much discord around this girl's dress.
It was a beautiful dress.
I just didn't understand the discord. Now, I will say this. I think the glam budget is non-existent. I think that Love is Blind does not give these women a budget for hair, makeup, like, you know, like somebody should be coming in the day before giving me a massage, giving me a skin routine. Like I should be getting like a facial, you know what I mean? This is television at the end of the day. Somebody should be coming in and giving me a whole new hairdo, a whole new do. Like I should be getting my shit nipped, tucked, sucked in. Like it should be looking up to par. And I feel like the show in itself does not give the girlies a budget. I felt that her dress did look like she was more bridesmaidy. Like it didn't give like wedding. At the same time, she's not the first person I've seen do a little tube top dress with a high slit. You know what I mean? She's a baddie. It's Netflix. I'm gonna be a baddie on Netflix. I mean, I saw people online trying to go cheek for cheek with her, and it's like, listen, I could guys, AD is a stallion. Okay.
Period.
I saw a lot of puppies online trying to go cheek to cheek with a stallion. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, I do think the budget wasn't there, but do you guys feel that the discord over the dress was because of her body? The fact that she does have a body.
I mean, we know how it is. Anything on a body like that is going to look seductive, is going to look overly, whatever. The slit was crazy high though. I honestly wasn't bothered by it until I saw people talk about it. And I'm like, oh, it is a little bit high. Yeah, whatever. I feel like at the end of the day, if it's your wedding day, you do what you want to do. And this is why I take the engagement so seriously and why Sarah Ann annoyed me, because apparently they do get a budget for the wedding, but it's up to you to decide where you put what money. What you feel is important, you put it there. And then if you want to exceed, I don't know what the budget is, but apparently you do get a budget. And then anything you want that exceeds that budget comes out of pocket. So this is your wedding. This is your real wedding. Damn. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I mean,
I want to see that budget. Because
I need to see it too.
Yeah, I want to see that budget because that budget better not entail venue. It better not entail like the decoration. It better not entail none of that. That budget better just be towards what I look like and what my groom looks like. It better not.
I heard entail, they just give you the funds and you allocate it where you want.
See,
so is it between both of them? Is it between both of the people?
No, I think each couple gets their budget. Child, that happens to me all the time too. The little FaceTime effects. And then anything that exceeds whatever, let's say they gave you 5,000. Anything over that, that's on you.
Nah.
So that means that Clay should have said, we don't need no food for the after party because I know I'm saying no. So did they still have the food ready? Did they still have the meatballs and rotel?
No.
No, you know black people can eat.
Yes, because can we still eat? Can we still eat afterwards? I didn't have a problem with AD's dress. It was kind of a mixed reaction for me. I saw some commentaries like, okay, I can see that, but when it was going cheek for cheek and people were objectifying her and sexualizing her, it was becoming annoying.
Yeah.
And some people were saying, well, she has a specific body. She needs to, tone it down. Like, you don't need to be showing out all the time. I'm like, do y'all want her to leave her ass at the damn office?
home?
Like, you want to leave it at home? Like, we've seen that again. We've seen that with the news anchor where the white women was calling down to the news station like, hey, that big booty black girl, like my husband paying attention to the news too much after the 6 minutes. Like, so we need to tone it down. The same thing with teachers who just like, hey, I'm taking a picture in front of my policing black women's body is not a new thing. It's been going on. And I feel like a lot of people start jumping into their auntie bag. Real bad. Like, girl, you need to wear a slip. You need to wear this. You showing too much. You need to put these on. If Uncle John coming over, like, it's like, God damn, can I live? In the words of Jocelyn, can I just live? And I didn't have no issue with it. That's what she wanted to wear. She wanted to wear Bodacious body Fashion Nova fit, period. I didn't have an issue with that. I thought she looked amazing. I agree with Jessie Woo that I would have loved for us to fix the lashes. Because the lashes, baby, they look like they was about to be on the Nissan Maxima 2010. The big lashes, like it was giving.
Oh my God.
They were falling off. I said, "Oh, sister, they seem better." They need a little toothbrush. They were this big.
The thing too with the lashes were they had already been warned when they zoomed in. They had all this makeup. They were already warned. So what's the budget? What is the budget?
That's not a budget issue. That is not a budget issue. And that's why I told you that. I said, unless I said on Queen E's program, I said the same thing. I said, listen, what does she place her value in? See, if you get put a budget, right, you're going to allocate what you feel is most valuable to you. This is why I said that attraction piece is very important, that AD leads with her body, not her face. If her face was her attraction piece, now I know you're going to get dressed, she would have made sure everything around the face was on point. You know why? Because that's where your moneymaker is, right? So if you know your moneymaker is your face, guess what you're going to do? You're going to place your value in that first. I didn't have a problem with the slit dress. I think the slit dress was, very sexy, and if that's what she wants to do. But I think it did speak a little bit again to where she places her value. The slit was hella high. And it didn't. We know you got body already. We know you got thigh already. We know you look sexy already. It doesn't matter what you have worn. You could have worn a bin bag and you look sexy. You know what I mean? Like, she would have still looked good because your body's going to always body. But she intentionally chose to accentuate it again whilst neglecting what I think is here. This is where your moneymaker is. And men, I'm just telling you, the heterosexual men, just want to be honest with you, they look at both the face and the body. When they only look at the body, they sexualize you and nothing else. I'm not saying they can't sexualize a woman that looks pretty, but I'm just telling you.
She just can't do makeup, man. Like, it's not for everybody.
But that's the point, Queen E. That's where she doesn't place her value. That's my whole point.
But that's what we're saying. Like, for instance, the makeup that she had at the reunion, obviously that was professionally done.
Slapping.
So why not have professional makeup artists come in to do these girls' makeup? Because
she put the budget elsewhere.
When her makeup was being done, was it somebody or was it her? I don't remember.
She had somebody that it looked like friends and family. Like, it wasn't given professional, like, makeup artists come in. Like, it wasn't given that. That makeup did not give that at all.
Oh, well.
And I'm sure, Jessie, you can speak to the times that you've been in places and you didn't trust the makeup artist that was there because they're not good with doing black skin. So you probably did your own stuff before you left or hired your own person before you came to set. So I don't want to say there's a budget thing. There's a history of black women, being on TV and not having, even black men not being given like the makeup artist who knows how to do black skin.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see that issue with Amy. No. Amy actually looked really good, but AD, I don't believe that. Granted the history of black women talking about their experiences being on shows and like, hey, not having a makeup artist, a proper makeup artist. I just don't see. I don't see that happening. I don't. Well,
her reunion makeup was fabulous.
Down.
On point.
Yeah, her hair, fabulous. So for me, it just was like I really feel like the budget that they give these cast members, because even Brett had to come out his own pocket to have his pants fixed his season. Like, those are not things that the cast should worry about. I'm sorry.
No, but look what you just said. No, but Jesse, look what you just said. What did Brett do? Out of his own pocket, because he valued what he was wearing. This is why I'm telling you about value. You think I'm just pointing it out. It is about what you actually value. And if it's so if it's so important to you, you'd have pulled it out your own pocket, because you said, I'm gonna be on national television. My eyelashes, maybe, these ones have been worn already. I saw the glue on it. I didn't want to see that, but that's okay. I'm not gonna do that to myself. I'm gonna make sure that even outside this budget, I'm gonna look good, because it's gonna be on the internet forever. So even if it comes out your pocket, you're going to put value there. She doesn't put value in that. And that's what I'm trying to say to you, that her value that she places herself is in her body, because she knows that's what draws a man to her. And that's always going to be an emotional issue when you're always using your body to move a man to you, rather than the whole package. It's just me just observing. But, our good brother Brett made sure that his trousers weren't going to be too long or too short.
Yeah.
So why did we eat Amy up? Because Amy's makeup was terrible. Is she not doing the same?
Do you fancy Amy? Because I don't. I don't fancy Amy.
If I'm just saying, if we're talking about like her not paying attention, to Amy didn't do the same thing. Her makeup looked terrible throughout.
And I skipped past that scene. I have no clue. I skipped past that scene.
It was literally
me and you both, King. Okay, we skipped past those scenes. We were tired.
It was trending online that people literally would forward through AD and Johnny's like scenes. Like, people just always forwarded through it, and it's like AD
and Johnny married.
Amy, she calls everybody AD.
King, get King out of it now. Get King out of it.
No, I didn't say. I was calling Clay AD for the longest.
Yeah, too.
I was like, girl, you just gonna be Amber. You're gonna be Amber from now on, girl. I can't do it.
That's it. Well, y'all. In conclusion,
we're not talking about Kenneth. Oh my God. I mean, we don't have to. You can conclude.
Well, you know what?
You know what?
We'll conclude with Kenneth. Let's talk about Kenneth. Here's what I'm gonna say.
Jessie, you've done so well. We've got 2 hours and we've done so well. You've done so well. Hold it down. You've done so well.
All my gay friends told me Kenneth is gay. They all said
Which gay friends, though? Which gay friends? Because all of them don't be
gay.
Maybe won't everybody to be gay.
I said the 2 hour bar.
I thought it. Yeah.
That's true. But then also, he had that little cousin that supposedly came out too and said that he was gay on TikTok or something, or I think it was like a screen grab somewhere that was like, he's gay. Kenneth disappointed me. Like, the disappointment that I felt, I liked how mature him and Brittany were. I liked how, God was at the center of their relationship. But the whole Dolphins moment, the telephone, and then also too, AD going to question him about dating the white women's and that becoming a thing. Then you got the white woman in the bathroom fighting for her life, talking about, oh, I identify as a white woman. It was just so many things. Like, even the reunion didn't even ask that. What do you mean by you identify as a white woman, Rachel Dozell? Like, what are your thoughts on?
God damn.
I'm dead. I mean, yeah, me personally, I wish the reunion asked more, because the fact that the sex question was, I feel like that was the least of whatever their relationship had going on. Where I don't know if he would ever admit, but I want to know when it started to fall apart for Kenneth, because he goes from the reveal, oh God, what did I do to deserve that? Oh God, oh Lord, I'm so blessed. Oh God have mercy. And then for me, where it started to fall apart for me was actually at their getaway, because I felt like he was starting to be very performative. Now, people didn't believe me, but hey, it ended how it did, so fine. Mm-hmm. I want to know for him, what was it? Was it the fact that you expected her to be blonde? Was it the fact that you thought you can do interracial, but really you want black love, however that comes? Was it the fact that, I don't know. I wanted to hear something, anything. Yeah. And the fact that when you were together 24/7, you could barely say 7 words to her. But now y'all talk every single day. You talk while you're at work. You talk what like what's going on? Is she moral support? Is she whatever? As for the cousins thing, me personally, I'm not gonna say anything that he hasn't said out of his own mouth. But like, as for your relationship, I needed more. I needed more.
Is she his beard? Kojo?
Now, I won't use certain words like that. What I would say is it's very interesting that you're talking every single day after this brother had no emotions. Obviously, they filmed it twice, they said, but he had no emotions to you on the screen. I think it's quite interesting that you're calling him every day. And I said this personally, this is what we call an opportunity cost. Because the amount of time you're spending talking to him, emotionally connecting yourself, having friendship conversation, another brother can't get involved with you. Because first and foremost, if he's not gay, why is he there? Why is he talking to you every single day? Which means he's blocking somebody else's destiny. So if he ain't gay, we got another question we got to ask. What are you doing there? Right?
Yeah.
So that was my thing. Now, I want to be honest. My last point on this is Kenneth, I knew from the reveal, just like I knew Clay wasn't feeling Britney. You know why? Because when he came out, he was all sitting like this. Hands like this. He didn't want to touch that woman. Like he was going to catch a case. And that told me that I don't think this brother really feels her. And then he even said as well, I don't know, maybe he's got a type of white woman that he likes. Maybe, I don't know. But he even said, I thought you were going to be blonde. I thought you were going to be blonde. That's what he said. I thought you were going to be blonde. And he mentioned that once or twice. Like, I thought you were going to be blonde. So I don't know. Maybe he likes a certain type of white woman. I don't know. But for me personally, when someone does that and then they get to their destination when they get home and they go on their phone, that person has already started the process of distancing themselves. Yeah. They've already started drifting from time away. So something I don't even think something even happened. I don't think that brother was ever committed because he's also got commitment issues. He told you about his family upbringing. He's got commitment issues. He needs to deal with that. Okay? And maybe potentially deal with the fact that, let me not say anything.
Yeah.
So let me leave it at that.
Yeah.
So I'll speak from my experience. Kenneth reminds me of how I was when I was young, and folks in the family used to, Justin, why you ain't got no girlfriend? I don't have a job, and I there's nothing I can do for a woman or a girl. So when I get my life together, then I'll be ready. I feel like Ken is doing that same thing. I'm not saying that Ken is like queer, gay, or whatever. I'll let him speak. I actually have talked to someone who knows him, and they said it's something that he's always kind of dealt with, but there's not any confirmation or anything. I think that Ken reminds me of a lot of Black men who are so deep in the church that they are not allowed to be themselves no matter what it is. And I feel like that's not just Ken, that's a lot of folks, period. I don't understand how we talking about, well, we're not going to bump and grind until we get married. You're on a show that's like playing with the institution of marriage. Yep. Everybody is drinking. Please keep that. This is not about God. This is stop. But it's easy to rely on that to say, well, you know what? We made a commitment in front of God. Girl, please,
and
sister.
Also, y'all noticed that he posed the question and then he was like, yeah, I agree. We never actually got a stance from him exactly. Mm-hmm. Like he just went along with it. I wonder if he would have asked the question first, would have been, yeah, I'm waiting.
Yeah. I think he's more comfortable talking to her every day because he doesn't have to perform that anymore.
Yeah, very performative. So agreeable. And like
when Ken got on, he spoke. Ken showed the most respect out of all of the men. Yep. Brittany, would you be my wife? Like the way he said, I got a little moist. So I was like, okay, like this is he had his deep voice on, child. He had his very white voice ready.
It was when he said, "It's me and you." I said, "Ooh,
ooh." It gave.
When he said,
but then it was time to.
You know, terrible.
But can I?
But it was all a performance.
It was all performance. But can I ask y'all something too? Going back to the trying to wake her up at 1 a.m. Was that him trying to get his dick wet?
That was his excuse. No, that was his excuse. Like he's looking for a reason.
Yeah.
You wasn't up. You wasn't
ready for me.
Yeah, he wasn't. And even when Brittany said, "Hey, like there's clearly some issues and stuff going on," well, I'm not
I'm
seeing these
trying.
issues. If you're seeing issues, nothing I can do. I said, "Oh, girl, this he got the stove
He
on, and
do.
Brittany
He
is
do.
cooking. Like Brittany should have just melted. Like I would have just collapsed the way he gaslit her. I don't see no issue. There is no connection. You are laying next to this girl on a boat, and you just
She's
there
begging
was
you to
no
touch her. She's begging.
Yeah.
She's like, I actually want to create. Like, I'm not gonna have sex, but I want to.
Like
She
even
wants at least a little
felt that.
temptation, you
her
know?
seeing the dolphin,
Tempt me.
she got up and started putting her hands on him, like, and all he kept talking about
He
was
started
them
to
damn
cringe.
dolphins. Like, I was like, what in the free willy is going on?
I think all of us can relate to being in a situation where somebody you like, I'm not attracted. Your body is going to react naturally. Your body is.
Say
And
again,
I've been in
bro.
a situation like, ugh, I don't want to do these things.
Don't
He
even
did
touch
not
me.
want to do any of it. Yeah, he was able to do it. He showed all of it when they was in the pods.
Yeah.
But when he saw her, I don't think it didn't matter what Brittany looked like. I just don't think he would have been interested anyway.
No.
I think he was looking for somebody to continue to perform with him, so he can be Mr. Good Principal. And
It's true.
that's all I'm gonna say on this. Catch the rest on Patreon. Because y'all ain't gonna get me chopped.
True.
Well,
You
I'll
get
take
over to
that
your
nigga
Patreon.
again.
Hit me up so we can talk on Patreon.
Period. Because it's
Come to the
giving
Patreon. See what it's saying.
Well,
because people were
will
joking
say-
about there's a homosexual on the show, and I was like, "What's going on?" And I'm not knowing. I'm just watching. I said,
Oh.
because
But also
yeah,
too, I felt like when it come to homosexuals, I felt like it was possible that we possibly had two homosexuals.
oh girl, you in
Who
this
that was?
theory.
You in this theory? Who's that theory? Who's that person?
There was a moment where I was like, okay, it's Clay. Because I was like,
Oh, you thought okay.
yeah, I was trying to figure out what it was. And as the time goes by, you realize, okay, this man is just a menace. He's just a damn menace. We don't know what he's into. We know he's into himself for sure. But yeah, I don't know. When it comes to Kenneth, I know we gotta be, polite and everything. And I mean this, when I say this, I don't mean this with any ill will. But that nigga gay. I'm sorry, he's gay. He is gay. And Brittany is conveniently his beard. That's how it comes off to me as a viewer, watching them at the reunion and how she went to bat. She was such a protector for him. And it just gave, yeah, girl, like we see it. Hopefully it works out for y'all. Hopefully y'all get whatever.
They were sisters.
Yeah. See, they were
What's your favorite meat?
They were sisters.
See, they were sisters.
You are terrible.
But y'all, thank you so much. This was so good. I mean, there was so much to discuss. I guess we could end on this note, which would be, I mean, we know that 2 other more seasons have been shot. They've already filmed the next 2 seasons. Shout out to Chelsea, who's officially part of the cast and crew. Where do y'all see the show? Yeah, where do y'all see the show going?
All I
Why
know is
do
the Toronto
Ojo be
version
turning
is
off
gonna
his
piss me
camera
off.
every time?
I don't know.
Don't consult
So
me.
you finna be on the next season? Is what you trying to tell us?
You know what? You never know. At this point, okay. At this point,
I'm done.
I'm playing. I'm not.
Would you go on the show like that, Jess? Would you go on this show?
Absolutely not.
It's so
Absolutely
funny.
not.
My agency did ask me a couple weeks ago. They were like, "Hey, we know someone in casting, and we'd love to get you on Love Is Blind." I was like,
Oh,
no.
you should do it, Jessie, baby.
What? Hell no.
You might get a
Jess
Ghanaian prince
is
over there.
she's too real. She's
Nah,
too real.
hell
You
no.
get a
I was
Ghanaian
just
prince
like-
over there.
Nah,
Not
they would.
bad.
Are you black?
No.
Yeah.
Are you black?
You're gonna be like pew pew.
Pew, pew, pew.
Not pew, pew.
Have you ever pew pew pewed somebody? No, I think that the only way I would do a show like Love Is Blind is if they did like a celebrity or influencer edition. I would do it.
Ooh,
They
That makes sense.
Messy as hell.
Messy.
And they already did one for this season, though.
Ooh,
I mean, Justin was on there.
Clock it.
Captain D.
Trevor
Clock
tried
it.
to be an influencer.
Yep.
Well,
Yep. But I feel like if they did a like influencer celebrity, I would do that. I think it would be so messy, and I would be in there getting my messiness on. Yes, I'd be so fucking messy on some shit like that.
Watch you mess around and fall in love. What?
Right. I would go in
That's
there.
how it
just
happens,
for
you
the
know.
mess. No, literally, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm going just for the mess. Then I come out, yeah, y'all, I fell in love.
Child.
I'll be. They would have to put me. They would have to put me in the women's pods. They would
Period.
have to put me in the pods with the
Now,
women.
KOR, what's going on?
Oh,
Baby, the
I
way
don't want to be around all that bravado.
who's been in the army for 7 years, I do not want to be around no me. Me and y'all
I
like
hear that.
nasty here.
Hey, you know what?
Cannot do
Hey.
Love is Blind would work for me, honestly. I'm that kind of Delulu. I am.
You would do it?
Absolutely.
Okay. I mean, I feel
You
like
have a, you know what, you will win me over because you have a very sexy voice. I'll be like, okay.
Thank you so
She
much.
doesn't it?
I'll be like,
That.
Queen E, would you be my wife?
yup.
Me and you.
And I'm gonna
Me
do
and
it.
you
It's,
against
it's
the
you and me,
world.
baby.
You about to
It's
pull a
you and
carton
me,
on us. You
baby.
about to pull a carton.
Not
It's
a
you and me,
carton.
baby. That's his friend. Not too much. Not too much on his friend. y'all.
He blocked me after he blocked me after
He
that.
blocked you?
One thing about I don't play about like when you start making like comments about black women's hair and hair texture and
yeah.
stuff. I don't play about stuff like that.
It was bad.
And when I saw it, I said, "There's nothing I can do for him." You don't talk
Yeah.
like even. I didn't agree with Homegirl where she like somehow her reaction. He had his massage noir jumped out immediately.
Mm.
I hear that. That's real.
Like you sitting here trying to get her together for the bisexual stuff, and you sitting here, you doing the same thing. It's just different. Like you're being just as nasty. And it just didn't make any sense to me. That means you've been thinking these things.
Yep. I agree.
Very true. You ain't lie, bro.
Kojo, would you do a show like this? Kojo, you cover a lot.
No.
No, he wouldn't.
I'm okay, thank you.
He
No. My dark hearts will slip out. Can't do it. Thank you.
They're going to the UK. Make sure you sign up for season.
They are in the UK, but they ain't gonna get me.
You gonna be on there serenading the white woman?
No, thank you. I only date black women for me, and I like them dark, baby. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that.
No, you said okay.
I'm gonna go through your Instagram and see how many white women you follow, and we're gonna see how
you gonna be sadly thingy. I don't
He's
follow many
very
of them
vocal
people.
about loving dark skinned black women.
I can't do it.
I believe it.
Very vocal.
I can't do it. They be scaring me. They be scaring me.
I wouldn't have his ass on here. I wouldn't have his ass on here. No, man. I need somebody who's so dark skinned women. I cannot do with men who I can't. Where do y'all see the show going? Like, do you feel like people are really, really going to fall in love on this show, or do you think now is just going to be a big old influencer?
I mean, I don't think that's something that you can predict because Amber and Barnett, they hate the show, but they're still in love. They still whatever. So I think
they're from season one.
Yeah, they're from season one. And what I tell you, they want no affiliation with the show whatsoever.
None.
They hate it. So
I heard
some
Jessie
people can
talking
fall
about that
in
in her last
love.
video.
Yeah, some people can fall in love in spite of the show. So to say, will people fall in love? I don't know. It's just, I know I'm gonna be watching because bills need to be paid. Amen.
Amen. That is a word.
Somebody said,
"You do a good job reviewing it."
Period. You sure do. Somebody said,
That's
"Why do we
right.
talk about Trevor?" I don't really think. What I mean, what?
I don't care about that man.
Yeah, I thought.
You mean you don't want to talk about his manipulation?
Well, I just felt like, what was the point of having Trevor at the reunion?
Oh no, I liked him getting cooked because I was vindicated. I said I didn't like him from the very first episode. People said, "You're so mean. He's so sweet. He's so."
Yeah,
so,
I was fooled.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I didn't like Matthew at all. I
was fooled for a while.
As soon as he started talking in school, I said, "Oh,
for real."
Yeah, but I was fooled for a little bit because I was focused on Chelsea too much. That's the problem.
All of y'all are
so
older than me. I'm scared. Come on, y'all, please.
Come on now. You see a big beefy guy like that?
Yeah. No,
I do. I like beef. I love me thick. Yeah. I love niggas.
I like beef, but
that's right, Jessie. You say it again.
I love me a thick nigga. I don't mind him. I don't mind a man who got a little.
Come on.
I love a man who got a little titty on him. I've said that before. Like I love it.
Okay, I can't do that, but I got you on the chest and everything. But I can't do that.
I love it because here's the thing. I know that man eats good, and he gonna make sure I eat good. We gonna be in the house eating good. Like I don't mind things like that. I love to cuddle, but I did think they did a lot with Trevor because it was like y'all didn't do your research. So to make him the villain, even though he is the villain now, but y'all didn't do your research. You didn't do your research. It was clear that man what that man was trying to do. Like y'all didn't do no research. Y'all are just getting people from Instagram. Y'all going on Instagram, location, Atlanta. Oh, okay, Pasha. That's why okay. MCK, all right, STK, like Blue Martini.
But can I say, this is why I like seeing people get cooked when they try to finesse the system, right? Because people make it seem like once you're scouted or whatever, you just have to be on the show. You don't have to be on the show. It is a choice. And so he decided to go on a show because he thought, now this will propel my platform, whatever platform it is. As soon as he came off the show, he had management lined up. He had all these TikToks. Look at me, I'm the nice guy. Oh, look at me, my dog died. Oh, guys, Chelsea played me. Oh, whatever. He knew exactly what he was doing. So I'm sorry. If they are going to cook you, go ahead and cook them. I don't care. You try to finesse the system and it didn't work out. Doesn't mean that production needs to ease up on the vetting. They definitely need to do a deeper vetting. Yeah. But let's not act like these people didn't have a choice. You had a choice. You could have said no.
True.
So cook them.
I stand with you on that.
Cook him.
True.
I'm not mad at it. Cook him.
I want to thank y'all so much. This has been a Black People's Love is Blind reunion. I really am excited that you guys took the time out of your schedule to sit down with me and to talk about the show. I love each and every one of you. I love your content. I respect what each and every one of you does. You know, from the V-neck, the black V-neck that we don't see no more, that I'd love to see, but I get it. To Queen E, you're just so thorough in your reviews, and you do it in such a respectful way. And I like how you incorporate the actual footage as well. I'm like, yeah, that girl be over there cooking. She be editing her ass off. And then Kojo, I appreciate the way you give such a psychological look at these shows when it comes to these people on these shows. So I appreciate all y'all. Let everybody know how they can follow y'all and support your channels.
I guess I'll start since I'm at the top. Queen E, the Queen E on YouTube, Queen Uncut on my vlog channel. Instagram is my real name, Eulaine, EULAIN.E. So yeah, find me over there.
Also, mine, Kinga Reads, my YouTube channel, Instagram, Kinga Reads, Twitter, The Kinga Reads. When it comes to reality show reviews, I put those on Patreon because I be talking mad shit. So you can find that at patreon.com/Kinga Reads, because the stuff I be saying, I can't say it on YouTube no more. So that's where the content is at. And I actually enjoy it. It'd be really, really fun. Now, Jessie, the way she be talking, in her reviews, I'm like, girl, I wish I
it's not in me. I can't.
But it be
like I be feeling like I can't do it.
You know, I did tell myself yesterday, I'm like, okay, do I need to cool it down? I mean, I'm not going to.
No, be authentic. Be you.
Have you ever been? Do those videos get demonetized?
Be you, baby.
Like,
actually, I haven't been demonetized yet.
Because you're great.
But it's
Sometimes
not even like a
monetization
thing. Like, we can sense authenticity. And if that's how you speak, that's how you speak.
Yeah.
And people who like it will like it.
Yeah. They do put, like, I think sometimes they put age restrictions on my videos.
Yeah.
That'd
be my concern
sometimes.
sometimes.
Meeting.
Yeah.
Kojo.
Yo, listen, you can find me on YouTube at Little Blackbird 91, same as my Instagram. But you know what? If you want something a little bit different, you know, I like to dance as well. So you can see me at Black Muscle on TikTok. We are quite big on there too. So listen, follow us on there as well, man. Have some enjoyment and entertainment in your life, okay?
He be shaking nyash. He's not dancing. He's shaking nyash.
People like big boys here. So listen, I thought, you know, shake a little nyash for you guys, okay?
My God.
I might go check out this
waist
this profile to go look.
Oh, by all means, KO. Go check it out, bro.
I might go do a little peeping.
Okay.
Do a little sneak peek.
Well, y'all, I love you guys. Thank you so much for doing this with me. And for those of you guys who have been watching, we have consistently had over 5,000 views in here. So Thank you so much for everyone from all of our platforms who have been watching this live. Make sure that you share it with your friends. Leave a comment once it's up, and take care of yourselves and each other during Black Women's History Month. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Did I end